up, and welcome to the Benchwarmer podcast. My name is Eric. You hate me 702, and the only person we got with me today is the beast from the east.
Got Sam Keldrock over here, and hopefully whoever's on the East Coast as well, they'll be safe because there is a nice snowstorm coming in.
Me and you are gonna fight. What do you want?
Yeah, the dog already going crazy. Oh my lord! Oh lord!
I'm sorry. My cat has this morning routine that when he gets up, and after he eats, he has to meow at my son's door until we let him in, so he can go sleep.
Yeah, but I was just telling. Hopefully everyone's safe because there's a bad snowstorm coming in the east right now.
And that's why I don't live on the east right now.
Right now, you mean ever?
Yeah. No, ever. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, so today we don't have a lot. We're missing Jeremy's still out. Jeremy is actually dealing with some stuff from his house. That's going on. Mo is not here today. He's probably at work. We do have. Well, I want to just let me do NBA. We do have a couple things to talk about. We're going to talk about the NFL, of course. We're going to talk about the Week 18 picks that we did on Thursday because a lot of people are out. So
yeah, more people are starting to sit out.
Yep, more people are starting to sit out. We're finding out who's not playing and who is playing. We got the Joshua versus Francis Ngannou fight that was just announced. We're going to talk about that. And we just call it an NBA rundown. Main reason for that is just because of the fact that there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but this is kind of like the lull of the season. We're going to talk about the trade with the Knicks and the Raptors, and then we'll also talk about some of the standings and how things are going. Talk about the Jokic shot from last night. So
kind of run down everything we've seen, you know.
Yeah, it's just kind of a lull in the season, so there's not really a lot to talk about. Even though there's exciting games, it's not a lot to talk about. So, but one thing I do want to ask everybody is, I want everybody to go check out this Eric Dickerson interview. I don't know where I don't know exactly where it's at. I just happen to see a couple snippets of it, but he basically said that the running back being devalued is the running back's fault. And he said at a point in time, the running backs went from, oh, we get ran too much. We what is it? We get used way too much. We get hurt. We get injured. I'm summarizing this, of course. And they started sitting out. So they were welcoming other people coming in the backfield. They were welcoming having another person come in and take some of the pressure off of them. They were sitting out to gain money. And when they set out to gain money, other people behind them would come up. So Eric Dickerson basically had said that when I was on the playing, I knew the guy behind me could get the job done, so I never left the field. So
it looks like it's on the Behind the Mask podcast is when he talked about it.
There you go.
I've been watching Google for you.
I've been watching some other podcasts talking about some fucking ancient civilizations and shit like that. I'm on that kick right now. So I didn't watch that. But what do you think, Sam? What do you think about that? What do you think about the running back devaluing itself?
Devaluing itself. I mean, I don't know if it's devaluing, but like they start doing these split backs because it's like you get the older guy sometimes, and then you get the younger guy, or two younger guys. Like I'm not even too sure anymore. Like it is a tough situation here because it's like, why would you want to overpay for one running back when you can have just two at a better value? It's definitely a hard situation because he's right, like kind of where he's like, all right, let's, I'm going to keep going because I want to play and make my bag. But then like everyone else is like, I don't want to get hurt, but I need to get paid because, unfortunately, that's just kind of the world we live in too, where, after their career, there's not really much going on for them unless you start making like business moves, which I don't know how many of these guys really want to do that. Or you become an analyst, which again, like, I don't know how many of these guys really want to do that.
See, I don't know. I get what you're saying.
It's a tough situation on this.
If you look at, I just Googled real quick a history of big major running back holdouts. And if you look, there wasn't, I mean, the ones that held out were the ones that you were expecting to hold out. Like the first real holdout was John Riggins in 1981. Okay. He decided to sit the entire 1980 season, did not return until after the Redskins convinced him to make him a comeback to the gridiron. Well, maybe that wasn't a sit out. Maybe that wasn't a holdout. It said he decided to sit out, but that might have been a retirement. Yeah. Okay. So they have Eric Dickerson. sitting out. He would return to go on the rush for 1,200 yards for the Rams. They have him doing it against the Colts. The holdout was far more detrimental to his statistical output for his previous holdout. You have Emmitt Smith, which is famous. Jamal Anderson did it in 99
Yeah.
after 1,800 yards. Marshall Faulk with the Rams. So, I mean, every time they hold out, like I get the holdouts, but every time they hold out, somebody comes back in there. So there's not many of them until you hit like
Now.
2000. Yeah, 2007, Larry Johnson. Why the fuck are you ever holding out? 2008, Steven Jackson. 2011, Chris Johnson. 2012, Maurice Jones-Drew. And then it just continues. Jamal Charles, it just literally continues. That was only like a 10-year or 20-year thing. Trying to see where else they have them. Yeah. But it just
Eckler, Barkley, and Taylor were the ones this year.
But every time they hold out, what happens? Somebody behind them. Fucking Eckler got his job because Melvin Gordon held out.
Yeah.
What's good, buddy? How you doing? So
and then the guy behind Jonathan Taylor was balling out before he came back.
Exactly. So Marshall, I think, I'm not saying that they knew more, but it seems like in Marshall Faulk's eyes that they treated it more like we knew the people behind us were fucking good. And you hear that a lot more with like the older players. Like we didn't want the guy to come off the bench because of the fact that we knew they could replace us.
Yeah.
You hear that a lot more with older players than you do now. And a lot of it could be because of the money. A lot of it could be because there's a huge difference between an average player and a great player now. Because I think the average players have gotten a lot better. But you're like, you have your Tyreek Hills, your Justin Jeffersons, your Devontae Adams, your AJ Browns. And then you have your lower tier, your second tier. They're not horrible, but they're just not as consistent. So I don't know. I think I actually think that has a lot of credence because outside of the fullback, what is another position that's been devalued?
Well, the fullback's not even a position anymore.
Nope, which part? Yep. But outside of that, think about that. The running back is the only position that has been devalued.
Yeah.
And they're the only position that we see consistent holds out from.
I was going to say the wide receivers they hold out, but it's definitely not devalued.
No, but they do hold out. But I think the difference with the wide receivers are, and this sounds weird because a wide receiver is a skills position, so is a running back. And I'm not saying a running back is a less skillful position. But I think there's a bigger gap between the great ones and, like I said, the average ones. Like you can't teach Tyreek Hill speed.
No, you cannot.
You can have that speed as a running back, but you have to be able to get out and use it. Tyreek Hill automatically uses it. You can't teach Calvin Johnson's fucking height and body size. Now, again, you can't teach Derrick Henry's body size, but they're still behind the line. So they have to be able to get out and use it. Where it's like the receivers, you notice it right away. Like you first time you see Tyreek Hill run, you go, wait, hold on, he's faster than everybody else on the fucking field.
Yeah, you got to plan ahead of that. Like with Calvin Johnson, remember they were doubling him at the line.
That's what I'm saying. And you're great route runners. You're amazing route runners. So the ones that have the skills, which a lot of them are a lot better at route running now. And I think maybe because there's so many different, I don't want to say roles, but I want to say, what do they call it in Madden when you build your superstar, your creative player? And you choose what type archetype. There's so many different archetypes to like the receivers because you have your speed receivers, you have your physical receivers, you have your red zone threat, you have your route receivers, you have your slot receiver, which a slot receiver is totally different from the outside receiver. So I think, I think that kind of that's why even though they may hold out, it doesn't get devalued because one, you need more of them.
Yeah, you need a lot of receivers.
Yes. And one good receiver can change your team. We saw that with AJ Brown and the Eagles. I mean, granted, so I think we basically saw that with fucking Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins. So I think that's kind of the difference between those two positions. But with the running back, you only need two. And unless and like Christian McCaffrey's a beast, but you don't see him ever holding out. Granted, he got paid.
He got paid by the Panthers, and now he's getting paid by the 49ers.
Yeah, but I mean, he seems like he's the great running backs. The ones that are the top ones that are everyday running backs seem like they're good. Jonathan Taylor, or maybe it's because I don't know. I had an idea
Well,
and it disappeared.
the one thing I will say for Jonathan Taylor is I kind of might understand why he might want to get away from the Colts because Jim Irsay is an asshole.
Okay.
If you remember what he did.
Yeah, I do. But this is my issue. And I'm gonna sound a little crude right now.
Go ahead.
What has Jonathan Taylor's success done for the Colts?
That's another point too. Like the same thing with Austin Eckler.
It's not Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry led that fucking team to the AFC Championship.
And Saquon Barkley led the Giants, who should have been very mediocre, to the playoffs.
Yes, like twice, I think.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, Jonathan Taylor, you've been playing good, but let's be honest.
That's the reason why they made the playoffs.
And you had one great season. And if Derrick Henry doesn't go down in that season, we might not even know the fuck we know who you are, but you wouldn't be as celebrated as much. Because remember,
you want to know, honestly, like the feeling I'm getting from Jonathan Taylor sometimes is like Peyton Hillis.
Yes. Okay, I can see that. I definitely can see that.
Because the thing is, like, yeah, he's great and all. He had one good season, and then not really much else went on.
And I think that's another thing that's devaluing them, is because they have one season or they have two good seasons, and then they're like, I need to get paid because I only have 6 or 7 years before you put me on the shelf. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't do the same thing, but you're in year 3.
I'm looking at his stats. His first year in the league in 2020, he put up 1,169 yards.
Okay.
Year 2, he got 1,811 yards. Year 3, 861, and then this year with the holdout, 553.
Wait, what year did he put up repeat those again?
All right, so rookie year 2020, he put up 1,169.
Okay.
Year 2, 2021. 1,811. Year 3, he got hurt, I believe, but he still played 11 games and put up 861 yards. This year, he had a holdout, played 9 games, and put up 553 yards.
Okay, so this is the reason why I think. No, Jonathan Taylor, he put up 1,800 yards. Yeah, he put up 1,800 yards.
I'm looking at his stats.
Yeah. He led the league in 2021.
Yes.
And then Josh Jacobs led the league in 2022.
Yep.
And then Christian McCaffrey right now is leading the league.
Yeah.
So outside of the 1,800 yards, he was just an average ass running back.
He was 3rd in the league in 2020. But he was, he was like very mid with everybody else because he's not putting up amazing numbers. Like David Montgomery was 1,000 yards, Aaron Jones, like he was just in the middle of the pack, it looks like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because he had 1,000 yards. Like that sounds like a lot, but it's not. Like
he led the league in 2021, and Nick Chubb was, very far behind.
But Nick Chubb got injured.
Nick Chubb, yeah, he only played 14 games that year.
Okay, so what was his yards in? What was his yards in 2020?
Derrick Henry?
No, I got Derrick Henry. What was Jonathan Taylor's yards in 2020?
1,169 yards. Henry was 2,000.
Yeah. So as of right now I know 1,169 is a lot of yards. I'm not saying it's not. But like you said, there are literally 6 people within 160 yards of him. One of them is a quarterback.
Lamar Jackson.
Nick Chubb only played 12 games that year.
James Robinson had 14.
Exactly, and is 100 yards behind him.
Dalvin Cook has more yards and
had 14. So that's kind of the point that I think the problem is. He had that great year with Jonathan Taylor. He had the great year with 1,800, But then if you look at that, when we go with the yards, so then you have Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, and Dalvin Cook basically all had the same amount of yards he had the year before. And he destroyed it. And Derrick Henry, that's the one. Where's he at? Because I know he got injured. Yeah, Derrick Henry had 937 yards through 8 games. And then he got injured. Then you have the 2022 season where Derrick Henry led, which is no, he didn't.
No,
Josh
John
Jacobs
Jacobs led. But this is when Jonathan Taylor got hurt.
Yeah, because then he only has 861. So I don't understand how you can hold out and ask for more money. When you have one amazing rushing season, you're injured the next season, and the 2020 season you were a top 10 running back.
All right, we also got to talk about Austin Eckler then too, because
Okay.
he was one of the holdouts as well, and he's never put up 1,000-yard rushing season.
No. So again,
he gets a lot of targets in the backfield as a receiver too, but he's a poor man's Christian McCaffrey.
Yes. And he's also the guy that is beneficial of a holdout.
He's also the reason why the Chargers have lost a few games.
So when Eric Dickerson says the running back is devaluing themselves, when you look at the numbers and just the two holdouts, neither one of them should have been holding out.
I am curious though now, because there was one more holdout this year, and we're gonna.
Okay, who is that?
That was Saquon, remember? But he didn't hold out too long.
Well, there's also Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Both of them. Now, I think with those holdouts, I know it's going to sound a little weird. Josh Jacobs well, normally he's been injured. So since his rookie year, he hasn't played a full season because he always gets injured. He's actually had a lot of good years. 1,100, 1,000, 1,653. So he's been in the top 10. And he's led the league in rushing. So him holding out this year actually makes more sense. I'm not saying it's smart than Jonathan Taylor, because he can at least say, hey, in 3 of my 4 years, I've been over 1,000 yards, and I have over 4,000 yards. So for those 3 years, and the only time I didn't was when I got injured. And this is with y'all motherfuckers fucking around with quarterbacks and switching head coaches and all this shit. But
I was gonna say Saquon had Eli Manning for his first 2 years, put up 1,000 yards each. Then 2020 came around, he got injured. 2021, he I think was still injured for a little bit, but he put up 593 yards in 13 games, which is put up 1,000 yards again, and he's on pace to put up another 1,000 this year if he really was able to.
Yeah, I think I know it sounds weird, but I just think those are a little different. Saquon, I don't think should have been holding out either because he was often injured.
Yeah, he's very injured.
Yeah, so but I think with Josh Jacobs, it's a little different when you look at Josh Jacobs and he goes, dog, I've been your running back room for 4 fucking years. I've done this. I have almost 30 touchdowns, over 30 touchdowns. I've only been injured really once, where I've missed a couple games, and I've played with a fucking shoulder injury my rookie season. So I think that one's a little different because of what has happened with that fucking organization. Like and who was in charge? Josh McDaniels. I think that's why I give Josh Jacobs a pass. But outside of that, Saquon Barkley, I don't think should be holding out because of the fact that
he shouldn't have been.
Injured. Yeah. So when Eric Dickerson says they devalue themselves, out of 3 out of the 4, we agree that 3 of them should not have held out.
Yeah.
So maybe they think they're worth more money than what they are, and that's allowing other players to play.
Well, like I said, these backup running backs sometimes are killing it.
And they are. They are. I mean, Devin Ackney with Mozart from the Dolphins. Yeah, but the other one that came in and kept getting injured, Ackney, whatever.
Devon Achane.
That guy, Achane. That guy. All right. So let's just go over a quick review for the NFL. Oh, God damn it. If I don't actually say we're live on Twitter.
Yeah, I was looking for it.
Yeah, I've been getting that conversation. That was supposed to be a short talk.
So before we do that, while we're waiting, while you're posting that, and I'm going to look for it too. I saw that there was a report that if the Falcons move on from Arthur Smith, they have a short list of head coach candidates. Bill Belichick is one of them. Eric Bieniemy is another one on the list. I don't know who else was on the list.
Eric Bieniemy will. That's the one you guys are going to get.
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Frank Smith, I think, was the coordinator of the Dolphins. I think he's on there.
Yeah,
too.
I would not be cool with Eric Bieniemy.
You would not be?
No. What is Washington look like?
Washington looks like a crap shoot.
How does their offense look? How does their offense look? In the beginning of the season, we were all talking about how good they looked. And granted, without having Eric Bieniemy as our offensive coordinator, does our offense look like shit? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But that tells me what he is. He went to Washington. They don't have a great quarterback room. There are points in times where people thought people looked good, but now you're like, oh, we don't know. I'm not saying that because Ron Rivera might not be a coach. No, might not be a good coach. But they gave him full autonomy of the offense. Like, you're not going to tell me that they hired him and said, you don't get to run the fucking offense. And it looks, once the rest of the NFL figured out, oh, Washington has some people, they shut that shit down really fucking quick. And their offenses look, and I know, oh, he has a piece of shit quarterback. He has a piece of shit. What the fuck do you think he has in Atlanta?
I was going to say Jacoby Brissett, first of all, came in too. And
Jacoby Brissett is not good.
He's not good, but he was able to save it. Also, we're getting spam already on Twitch.
Oh, shit. I didn't even pull Twitch up, damn it. Jacoby Brissett is not good.
You'll see what I posted. Yeah, so here's the thing, too. Like, they could get a quarterback in the offseason for whoever.
Who?
Russell could fill in for a little bit, as we mentioned. You said you like that one. They could draft one, and he could build his own quarterback. Unless they win this game, then they're really kind of fucked.
Yeah. Wait. How do I get rid of this?
And we don't even know if Taylor Heineke is starting tomorrow or not.
Yeah, so I don't even know what's going on. Yeah, no, they're there. I would not say now I did hear that this is the problem. Look, listen, I'm gonna say 100% with your thing. I heard rumors like 2 weeks ago. Arthur Smith might be good. We're gonna evaluate the season.
Yeah, I heard that too.
If he makes it to the playoffs, and he gets to keep his job, but if he loses, he doesn't get to keep his job. Do you know what that means should happen? He should get fired either way.
Yeah, he really should.
Because the only way you guys can, this isn't a win-all game. This isn't, we're playing the Saints, the winner in, whoever gets in, whoever wins this game. This isn't the Colts and the Texans. This isn't the Bills and the Dolphins. So you would need a lot more help to get in. So
literally, the Panthers need to win for them to have a chance.
I think he should lose his job regardless.
Because he lost a lot of games that were winnable.
He did. And he doesn't know how to use people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he should lose his job. I also think that,
look, Ritter and Heineke need to be gone.
One of them need to stay because you need a solid backup. You need some. I would actually keep both of them because neither one of them are costing you money.
Yeah, because one's still on the rookie deal. I think Heineke signed did he sign a 1-year deal or a 2-year?
And he's a second, and what was he, a second-round draft pick, third-round draft pick, right? Yeah, so it's a small rookie deal. And you're going to need some competition. And you may not want to start your rookie quarterback right away.
Yeah, as long as we don't start Marcus Mariota again.
Well, he's not coming back to you guys.
Good. I hated him.
So that's kind of, so I would keep one of them to play around with it. But, I mean, what quarterback's going to be available in the offseason?
That's, we're going to have to find out.
You're going to have, there's not going to be one. There's not going to be a good quarterback available. Like right now, I'm trying to think of maybe Drew Lock.
I mean, yeah.
Let's see. Maybe Mitch Trubisky. Maybe Kenny Pickett.
Where is your contract, sir?
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe Zach Wilson. Most definitely Zach Wilson. Let me think of who else. Who else could be up? Gardner Minshew.
That one actually might not be the worst.
Stop it.
I'm saying the worst.
Gardner Minshew. This is the. This is the problem with Jonathan Allen not playing tomorrow. So you know what that means. Trade it or cut. Wait, Jonathan Allen plays for
Washington.
Oh yeah. Okay. Why was I gonna get him confused with who's the Allen for the isn't there an Allen on the Jaguars?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. See, yeah, that's what got confused me. Okay. Mike McCarthy is back on the hot seat. Jerry Jones when Sean Payton or Mike Tomlin. Watch. He's not getting either one of them.
Yeah, they're both going to be locked in where they are.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos are not letting Sean Payton go after what they gave up for him. And Mike Tomlin's not fucking going anywhere. I do think Mike McCarthy's on the hot seat. I think, you know what, let's think about that. Let's talk about that real quick because I'm going to tell you, and Jameis Winston, I don't think Jameis Winston will ever start again. He is going to be he's going to be a backup. Jameis Winston and Gardner Minshew are very similar to me. Both of them are backups that when your quarterback goes down and nobody really knows how they're going to fucking play, they can come in and win you some games and make it look good. But if you sign them to be a starter, by week 4, you're benching them. Question: who do you think out of the quarterbacks that are in the playoffs have the most pressure on them?
In the playoffs, Tua is one of them.
Why?
You know what? Because he's always had pressure on him every year. Since his rookie year, everyone's always put pressure on Tua. So he's probably got some pressure right now.
Well, all of them will have some pressure.
Oh, they're all, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at so you are like if you were to rank the quarterbacks from 1 to 5 that have the most pressure.
All right, most pressure. Hold on, let me pull up. Let me just remember what I'm looking at here.
So I got 3 off the top of my head.
All right, why don't you start while I look?
Oh, I give you my top 3. 1 is fucking Josh Allen.
All right, I wasn't counting him yet until we knew he was in the playoffs.
Yeah, the reason why is because there are people that are I would say the whole Buffalo Bills, but we've seen Joe Burrow make it to the Super Bowl. We've seen Patrick Mahomes make it to the Super Bowl.
He's won too.
Yeah, we've seen Matthew Stafford make it to the Super Bowl. We've seen Jalen Hurts make it to the Super Bowl. Well, Matthew Stafford I should take out. We've seen Jalen Hurts make it to the Super Bowl. So you've seen quarterbacks around the same draft. Yes, he was drafted before them that have done better things with him, and the Bills keep trying to help.
Yeah, I was gonna say Matt Stafford was 09. We can.
Yeah. Well, no. Oh yeah. So so we've seen more people make it to playoffs. We've also seen him have a horrible start at the beginning of the season. Yeah. And we've seen the issues that we have with Stephon Diggs. We've seen his interceptions issues. They always talk about him trying to do too much and playing superhero ball. And we know winning solves everything. So if he goes out in the first round, loses, let's say he gets a 6 seed and plays the Chiefs and loses in the first round, that's not good for his legacy. He's going to literally get fucking ripped apart. Mm-hmm. If he wins the Super Bowl or even makes it, he has to make it. If they go on a run, because right now they're running, like continue this run in their hot streak. Oh, he's going to be he's going to look what Josh did, all this shit talk. It's going to alleviate so much pressure off of him. But I think Josh Allen number 1. Then I got Lamar. I got Lamar.
Yeah.
The reason why I give Lamar a pass is because their organization has not given him the tools that he has needed to until this year. This is the first year that he has had a receiving core. Even without Mark Andrews, his receiving core has been extremely good. With Odell Beckham, they've worked.
Zay Flowers.
They've worked very, very well. So I would say that the offense has been changed this year to, yes, he still runs, but it's not the same as before. And they're allowing him to stay healthy more during the season. Granted, his playoff success is limited. He's been in 3 playoffs. He's
won one game.
Yep, 1 and 2. So it's limited. If he wins the MVP, of course, we're going to put more stuff. But then that comes to the point where what quarterback that wins the MVP wins a Super Bowl? Patrick Mahomes. Outside of that, it hasn't happened for 20 fucking years.
Peyton Manning, I think, was maybe one.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So that almost alleviates some of the pressure. And third, I got Dak.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to flip it a little bit. Dak is my number 1.
Okay.
I think Dak is number 1 because he's always in the playoffs and he's always a first round by exit, or he gets an easy win against the NFC South champion.
Okay.
Because who's he beaten? He's beaten the Buccaneers and
the Bears.
The Bears. Did he beat the Bears?
Yeah. Wasn't that him with the missed field goal?
Nope, that was the Eagles.
No. Cody Parker missed a field goal.
Again, I think that was the Eagles still. The double doink.
That was the Cowboys.
The double doink was the Eagles, but
the one in the playoffs where he missed that was not the Eagles.
The two that he won against was Seattle in 2019 in the wild card and Tampa Bay last year in the wild card. The double doink was against the Eagles with Nick Foles.
Are you serious?
Oh my Lord. Do I need to pull this up right now?
Okay, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it literally has the Eagles in the picture. That was 2018. Nick Foles was leading, and then they went to New Orleans and they got bounced. That was the same year of the Rams player running into the Saints player with the obvious pass interference, but they didn't call it.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna shut up. Yeah, okay. For some odd reason, I thought that was the Cowboys.
Yeah. So he's only won 2 games, one against Seattle in 2019, which I don't believe they were good that year. I don't even know. And one against the shitty Buccaneers last year.
Yeah, but my only thing I would say into response to that is the reason why I would not put Dak number 1 is because he always has a God, why can't I fucking think right now? He has a handicap, his fucking coaches. So we can always blame Mike McCarthy
or Jason guy Garrett. On Mike McCarthy.
Or Jason Garrett. That's what I'm saying. So in that scenario, we know that if Dak gets them in the proper situation, Mike McCarthy will still pull some fucking dumbass shit.
We gotta see though, because you know everyone keeps blaming Dak. So if that's the way they're gonna blame him, then he's got the pressure on. Right, number 2 for me is gonna be Jalen Hurts.
Why?
Yeah, he got you to the Super Bowl, but he does look pretty bad right now. And on top of that, he got a shit ton of money to definitely not look great.
Okay, just question. I see your comment down here, and I was gonna
wait. I'm looking at Anthony too.
I was gonna wait, Anthony, till we got to a Jalen Hurts. I was hoping Jalen Hurts did not have this. My response to all of this is 2 years ago when Jalen Hurts started, did anybody see him in the Super Bowl?
No,
did anybody see him in the Super Bowl? So nobody saw him in the Super Bowl. He led the team to the Super Bowl. And if it wasn't, I'm a fucking Chiefs fan. If it wasn't for their piece of shit defense doing a fucking hold, they probably win the game. and he's lost how many games this year? He's got a new
he's got 5 losses right now.
New offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, and they lost like 11 fucking starters. And they're still, for most of the season, they were the number 1 seed. And because he got paid, both of you guys are like, oh, he needs to be.
Well, let me ask you this one, because we could have this argument again too. When the Falcons paid Matt Ryan after his Super Bowl appearance, he had so much pressure on him afterwards. Why can't we have the same pressure for Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts is in year 4.
Matt Ryan was paid like he's in year 6.
Jalen Hurts has done more since he's gotten paid than Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert and any other quarterback around his age. And we still have more pressure. He's done more in this season than Justin Herbert has since he's gotten paid. Joe Burrow's done since he's gotten paid.
Well, if you're also going to blame coaching for the Cowboys, we got to blame coaching for the Chargers.
Who else got paid?
You got to blame coaching for the Chargers if you're going to say the same thing for the Cowboys.
Are you 100%? Okay, so you can blame coaching for him. But still, you can blame coaching for him. I don't give a fuck how we blame.
Lamar Jackson got paid.
We're talking. He's done more since Lamar Jackson got fucking paid.
Lamar Jackson got paid this year.
Lamar Jackson's been paid twice. Lamar Jackson's been in the league for 7 to 8 years. He's been paid twice. He was a 2nd-round draft pick. He's been paid twice.
Let's see here. Lamar Jackson only signed a 1-year deal this year. No, wait. Yeah, he only signed a 1-year deal before, and then this year he got the 5-year deal.
What about his year? Wait, how long has Lamar been in the league? He got drafted in 2018, right?
Yeah, 2018. Because Lamar, he didn't get the franchise tag. He signed a 1-year deal to sign on for the 5-year deal. So he only got paid once.
Okay, so what did he get paid last year?
He was that 1 year.
For how much?
What was that, 32?
$32 million.
Yeah.
And what did he do last year?
Let's see. Let's pull up Lamar's last
Nothing.
year.
He was injured.
Was he hurt last year? I think he. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. He had. Jalen Hurts has one less win than Lamar fucking Jackson.
No, he
With
wasn't.
the whole
Wait.
This year, what? They're 11 and the Ravens are 12-4, and the Eagles are 11-5. Like, I don't get how a guy that was never supposed to be who he is 3 years ago leads a team to the Super Bowl in his second year starting. And this year he has the most pressure by some people.
He's gonna get a lot of pressure.
This is
made the Super Bowl.
This is how we ruin fucking quarterbacks.
Mm.
This is how we ruin young quarterbacks. He has done more than anybody in his age group that has gotten paid, and we're still putting more pressure on him. Y'all don't even have Josh Allen in your top 5, but Josh Allen hasn't done shit.
Actually, Josh Allen was literally next.
Okay, sorry. Josh Allen.
You didn't even let me finish in my top 5.
You're right.
Josh Allen was next because
I should have said that.
He's got a lot going on there.
So I don't understand how Jalen Hurts has more pressure than Josh Allen or Dak Prescott. You got Dak right. You got Dak 1.
Dak was number 1. Yeah. Dak has the most
Dak,
pressure.
I'm okay. I can't really argue Dak because I understand Dak.
Dak's been around for years, and he's done nothing.
So has Josh.
And Josh is still on my list, too.
But yet, in 2 starting seasons, in 3 starting seasons, the Eagles have been to the playoffs.
I think they were in the playoffs every year Jalen Hurts has been there.
What in the fuck are we? Are we just throwing darts at people? How does this guy?
No. The way it works is you throw darts at people who get paid.
But
that's the problem with media too.
His contract matches his production. He's not overpaid.
Right, so Jalen Hurts has been to the playoffs each year that he's been in the league.
The Eagles are losing because they lost a whole fucking team. And everybody else got better. We're yes, and we can 100% say coaching because they lost their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator.
They were trying to get rid of the defensive coordinator.
It does not matter. They lost it, and they had one of the best defenses in the league last year.
They are so to talk about also the Eagles because I'm gonna side with you on this one now because I always like to see both sides when it comes to these discussions. The Eagles have no linebackers right now. All the linebackers are hurt. All the cornerbacks are basically hurt. Kevin Byard, I think, is the only person right now in the secondary playing. So they definitely are dealing with a lot of defensive issues. Now, on the offensive side of things, though, Jalen Hurts has done some questionable things. I mean, we could say it's the coaching because during that game against the Cardinals, they were throwing like 5-yard checkdowns to Kenneth Gainwell, which was a stupid idea. They should have done a little more than that, but we'll pass that up to coaching. He's done what he's could. His signature play is the tush push, though. That's kind of, I feel like, the best thing for him. Like Sirianni is putting him in an opportunity to play better.
Yeah, is he playing to the MVP caliber that he was playing last year? No. But is his defense playing to that caliber that they were last year? No, which allowed him to play to that caliber. So I'm not saying that he doesn't have any pressure. I'm saying for him to be in the top 2 of most pressure as a 3rd-year starter that led his team to the Super Bowl and is 11-5. And yes, do they have some bad losses? Of course they do. The Cardinals' loss is fucking horrible, but every team has bad losses. Fuck, the Ravens team literally basically was winning every game that they lost, except for maybe one. But yeah, they had the lead in every game that they were losing, I think, in the 4th quarter, except for maybe one. He's 11-5. As of right now, there are 2 teams that have a better record than his team does. The 13-3 Ravens and the 12-4 Niners. That's it. The only teams that they've been blown out by were the Niners and the Cowboys in that second game. They've been in every game. They put and their offensive stats are not. I'm not saying their offense is really, really great,
Their
but
offense has been very suspect.
Has it though? I don't. Let me see. Okay,
They got
so
2,000
the
yard
Eagles have.
receivers and AJ Brown and Smith, and that's really it.
What's DeAndre Swift have in rushing?
He's got 1,000 yard rushing.
So they're doing a running back by committee. What's their second running back have?
Gainwell has 300.
Okay, so we have a 13.
That's not by committee.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's not by committee.
I literally thought in the beginning they were going to do it.
That's what everyone thought because Boston Scott's got 17 carries for 81 yards. That's not by committee. That's
the offense was never great. That's the problem. Last year, that offense was not. It was the defense. You guys, the offense was. I'm not saying that the offense was not a very well-oiled machine, but that defense put them in a lot of great positions. Their defense was, unless I'm remembering, because I've been fucking up completely, so I could be misremembering.
So if we're gonna go based off of last year, they've put up similar numbers. AJ Brown and Smith both have 1,000 yards going. Take out DeAndre Swift, throwing Miles Sanders, 1,000-yard rusher. Hurts has 3,700 yards passing. So if we go in this year, Hurts actually has more yards passing than last year. Smith and Brown are very equal on their offense, and DeAndre Swift has the 1,000-yard rusher. Now let's go over to their defensive side real quick for that. I mean, their top sacks last year was Hassan Reddick and Hargrave, 16 and 11. And then C.J. Gardner-Johnson has 6 interceptions. Bradbury has 3. This year, they don't have the same amount of production because their top interceptions is Darius Slay and Reed Blankenship at 2. And sack-wise, Hassan Reddick has 11. So they're down quite a few sacks, down quite a few interceptions, but offensively, they're doing the same.
And if you look, I think their defense was So that's what I'm trying to explain. I get what everybody's saying.
I think you were just having a hard time explaining it.
Yeah, thank you. I love what the media says because
that's why I wanted to fix that.
Yeah, but no, last year their defense, you can't lose 11 players and be the same team. Last year, their defense was was better than what it was this year. Their offense was good, but it's not like, oh, it was great last year and it's trash this year. A lot of it is teams know what they're doing. They have less defensive players. They had to get chemistry together in the very beginning because they have a new coaching system because they lost both of them. And the NFC's top teams are better. That's basically the difference. Like last year, who was it? The Niners and the Eagles.
Yeah.
That was it. This year, you have some good. I mean, if you just look at the playoff.
To help you out, Eric, on this conversation too, the Eagles have the 11th ranked rush defense, but they have the 28th ranked pass defense. So people are scorching them through the air. Their defense overall is ranked. I saw it here a minute ago. Where'd it go? The Eagles' defense, I remember, was ranked very low. They're 23rd ranked overall in defense. If we compare that to 2022 now, I believe they had a much better defensive.
I think they were top 10.
Bears, Cardinals, Packers. Yes, 2022. Let's see here. The Giants, Lions. The Eagles were ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were the 7th ranked defense overall last year.
So that's the difference. Thank you. Thank you.
So again, devil's advocate. I like to show both sides. The defense definitely has faltered for them, especially since Matt Patricia is now calling defense, and we know how that goes. And
yes.
Again, I'm going to go back to the argument for Matt Ryan because this, your argument was me a few years ago. Why are we blaming the quarterback? Because, as you said, this is a quarterback's league. The media always blames the quarterback, but Matt Ryan has never had a top 10 defense in his entire career, and he got shit on for playing horribly. When it's like, no, you don't get the ball for him. And that's the same case with Jalen Hurts. His defense is ranked like crap this year, and now there's all this expectation.
And the NFC's top dogs are better. That's another, like they've lost 2 of their games have been to Dallas and San Francisco.
Hold on. I want to know. I'm going to pull up some stuff here.
They lost Dallas, San Francisco. They lost Arizona. They lost to the Jets. And they lost to, I'm missing two of them.
Who, the Eagles?
Yeah. They lost to the Jets. They lost to
The Cardinals.
the Niners, the Cardinals, the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yep.
And there should be five in there.
No, I'm missing one. We're missing one.
Cardinals, Seahawks, Cowboys, 49ers.
Seahawks. There we go. Yeah, Seahawks. So they lost, and in all they got blown out twice. The other two, but then when you look at like, okay, who'd they beat? Well, they didn't beat. They beat the Rams, but that was early. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Cowboys. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Bills. And let's just look at this fucking 7-game, 8-game fucking thing that they had to go through. Okay, and I hate fucking Eagles fans. Okay, so the fact that I'm literally sitting up here defending Jalen fucking Hurts.
Can we go to Anthony's point for a second?
Carr had a great defense and still stuck. You don't need a defense if you got a good offense. Chiefs. The Chiefs defense is a lot better than what people give them credit for at the end of the season than in the beginning of the season.
I would like to please go over my example again.
Yes.
Because Matt Ryan puts up 4,000 yards a year. Great offense, always leading the metrics, but because they have a bad defense, they don't get the success they want.
And again,
that's not valid.
This is the problem with this. This is the problem with this thing. The problem is everybody thought Jalen Hurts was doing it last year. So everybody was loving Jalen Hurts because they were, look at Jalen Hurts. He's an MVP candidate. The only time they lose is when he's out. Look at him. Look at the numbers he's putting up. So everybody got these great expectations based off of a falsehood of numbers that was generated by their fucking defense. Not saying that all of it was. But when your defense is as good as what they are, you can get away with a lot of shit.
As much as I appreciate that comment, Anthony, that's not the way everyone else saw it. Everyone's saying it's Matt Ryan's fault when it's also Devontae Freeman's fault for not blocking.
Also, I think in this day and age, we have way too much fucking media. So that's how somebody like Jalen Hurts that is actually overproducing for anybody that anybody thought he would be becomes one of the people with the most pressure. Like Jalen Hurts will be good for the next 6 to 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, until he gets injured.
He's got the expectation now because of the payment and because the media threw him in the forefront. So he's going to have that pressure.
How is that an expectation when everybody gets paid?
Not everybody.
Everybody does. Look at every quarterback. Everybody's getting fucking paid, buddy.
Tua's not getting paid.
Tua's about to get paid.
I was going to say, Trevor Lawrence is on a rookie deal, so we can't count him.
Okay. Let's look at everybody that is capable of getting paid. All the quarterbacks are getting fucking. What did Geno Smith get?
Geno Smith, let's see. What did he get? I'm Mr. Google over here for you today. I'm your Google guy. I got you. He's got a 3-year deal worth $75 million.
So you got $25 million a year. That's not bad. That's
not bad.
That's the same as Derek Carr. Very similar.
And let's see, what's Jared Goff making? Because he's a playoff quarterback right now.
Okay, here we go.
4-year, $27 million.
Nope, I got it right here. Here you go. So Joe Burrow has a total about Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones. Those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And Rodgers is 13. So those are the top 13. So if we just go into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Top 8. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. All of them are making very similar money. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Jalen Hurts, none of them been in the Super Bowl in the last 5-6 years. Most of them haven't even been to a fucking championship game. Josh Allen's been to 1. Lamar Jackson's 1-2. Justin Herbert's 0-1. Russell Wilson hasn't fucking done shit since my kid was a kid.
Isn't Herbert more than 0-1? I want to help your argument here.
Last year, Herbert was his first year in the playoffs.
Was it really?
Yep, because they lost to the Raiders.
It was.
Yeah, when the playoff. Game. Oh, so how does somebody that is getting paid in the same category as other players, and we go, oh, it's his contract, but he's outperforming the other players with these contracts. He's a top 3 quarterback with that contract. How does he have the most pressure? I just don't get that.
Yeah. Again,
It
my
can't
most
be
pressure is
franchise.
still going to be for Dak, though. He still gets it.
Okay, so who's your third person? Since I went on a mini rant and took a
Josh Allen, as we mentioned.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I agree with the same reasons for you for Josh.
Who's getting paid next? Is that what he said?
It's CJ Stroud when his time is ready.
No, well, we have people ahead of him. You got Trevor Lawrence.
He's going to probably get paid.
Trevor Lawrence is up next.
Tua.
Because they came out of the same draft, right?
Nope. Did they?
Yeah, I think so.
Now I got to look. I actually don't know when Tua was drafted because
I think Tua was like the 5th pick.
Yeah, he was a late pick. I know that. He was 2020. That was the year that Burrow got drafted one. Trevor Lawrence, I think, was 2021.
Yeah, Burrow did get drafted. Okay. So who do we have coming up?
Lord, I think what did I just say? Tua's the first one probably getting paid.
Yeah, Tua will be. And it depends on what happens this season.
Yeah. After Tua, probably Trevor.
Okay, so this ESPN art. Oh my fucking God. They have Tua. They have Jordan Love.
Jordan, yeah, his rookie contract's almost up.
Yeah, Jordan Love.
Does he deserve the money though?
Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields.
Kirk Cousins might be getting something.
Yep.
Because the Vikings are realizing they miss him.
Brock Purdy.
Well, he's got some time because he was Mr. Irrelevant last year.
His rookie contract pays him until 2024. So his CBA dictate. Yeah. So he's in 1 point, not a dime. That money's guaranteed. Yeah, none of that money's guaranteed.
No.
So he's gonna redo his fucking contract. He's about to get fucking paid.
Yeah, Purdy. Well,
Purdy's about to get paid. Yeah,
because he might end up getting paid elsewhere.
The CBA dictates that Purdy's 2025 salary could rise because of proven performance escalators based on the number of offensive snaps he plays in the first 3 years. But the money still wouldn't be guaranteed. So yeah, they're gonna. So Tua, it's gonna be they're gonna need to pay Lawrence beforehand.
Purdy are probably next.
Yep. Those are probably the next 3. No, pay Brock early. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to pay Brock.
I'm pretty sure the price has already gone too high.
Okay, so
do you think any of these backup quarterbacks have any pressure on them?
No, they're backup. No, this is the problem. Honestly, there's only, in my opinion, there's only 3 quarterbacks that have pressure on them. There's 4. I mean, there's 4 teams that have the most pressure on them.
Teams that have their starters in, and if they lose to a backup, they're kind of that's kind of fucked.
I have the Bills, the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Cowboys.
Yep.
And that's it. I know the Niners have pressure on. I know everybody says the Niners have pressure, but as soon as
they can handle their pressure though.
But as soon as one of them get injured, the pressure goes away.
If Debo goes down, the expectation is already set.
Yeah, if Trent Williams, one small, but we know there's a great chance they're going to be in the NFC Championship. We know this.
Yes.
But realistically, due to the fact that the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Browns, and not the Browns, the Cowboys, and the fucking Bills, none of them have been to a championship game. Well, the Bills have 4 years ago. So yeah, but they're still on that precedent. That's kind of my issue. The Rams, nobody thought they would be here where they're at. The Browns shouldn't even be here.
I know, right? I feel like the only team that, minus injuries, that's have their quarterback that I have no pressure for are the Chiefs.
Yeah, none.
There's
because we've won. Yeah, there's no pressure, and we're having a down year. So I've already said, I might this just to let everybody know, this is normally how it goes when I watch football, and it hasn't been this way for the last couple of years since 2018. So normally what happens is when the Chiefs are out of the playoffs, I don't watch football again until the Super Bowl. That's normally how it goes. So there's been times I've missed whole fucking playoffs because I was like, fuck you bitches, I'm too fucking hurt. But since 2018, we've made it to the AFC Championship every game. So I don't know what's going to happen this year. It's kind of weird. Like if the Chiefs lose in the first round, I don't know if I'm going to be like, I'm gonna have to watch it because of the fact that I have a podcast now. So I'm definitely gonna have to watch it. Nobody wants to see the Rams and the Browns in the playoffs.
So basically, you're going to come back to my level if you get out of the playoffs.
Oh no, and this, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's not even gonna bother me. Like people were talking, like how's it gonna feel? I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't. And they're like, you don't understand. The Chiefs are having, and I love when people start talking shit.
Well, here's the thing too. They're having an off year this year. Next year, they could easily just bolster up and just be right back in this.
It doesn't matter. Our off year is still better than everybody's good year.
Shit, I mean, look at my team. We're having an off year.
As an off year, you're having an off decade, okay?
Not just an off decade. We're having an off fucking eternity.
As an off year, we're 10-6 and third in the AFC. As an off year. As an off year, we're still in the playoffs and hosting a playoff game. As an off year, we can still get hot and with Patrick Mahomes and go on a run. As an off year, we're still better than most teams.
You want to know what's funny too? They could go. So let's see. They're the 3rd seed. So they would play whoever the 6th seed is. We can play the Bills right now. They could beat the Bills.
Yes.
Then they would have to play either what they would play.
We'd end up playing the Dolphins if the Dolphins won.
Yeah, and they could beat the Dolphins.
Yeah. So this is the issue that you have. Yes, they could. And I'm not going to say the shit that I said before. So I don't even want. This is in a fantasy reality. Because the last time I predicted some shit, we lost to the fucking Raiders, okay? In a fantasy reality.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling can catch a ball.
In an alternative universe, okay? What could happen is the Chiefs
trade for Justin Jefferson.
This would be the ideal scenario, okay? This would be the ideal scenario for me. The Bills beat the Dolphins. The Chiefs
play the 2 seed. Dolphins would be the 6.
The Chiefs play the Dolphins at home. Chiefs end up winning in an alternate reality. Football gods, listen to what I'm saying. Parallel universe. This shit doesn't happen. Disney. Okay. Then we beat the Dolphins. The Bills would then end up playing in this scenario. They would end up playing the 7th seed, which let's just say that's the Colts. Okay.
Yeah, I think we could say Colts for now.
Let's just say that. Oh, I'll say it's the fucking Steelers. I'm gonna say Steelers. I already said the Steelers are going to go to the fucking playoffs. This is my fantasy. Alternate.
You did.
Yes. Okay. So they play the Steelers. They play the Steelers in Buffalo, and somehow the Steelers have an upset based off of their defense because Josh Allen throws fucking 3 interceptions in the playoffs, and that's not unheard of. Then somehow we end up hosting. We'd end up hosting whoever wins out of the 4 and the 5 seed, which would be the Jaguars or the Browns in this scenario.
Honestly, probably the Browns.
Yeah, exactly. With a backup quarterback, or we have Joe Flacco. And by this time, Joe Flacco should be back to Joe Flacco. In this scenario, the Ravens would play the Steelers. I'm not saying the Steelers fucking win. Not saying that. But a rivalry game when, let's say the rivalry game, they're 1-1 in the season. Granted, they set all their backups. Nobody knows what happens. It is a huge rivalry game too. But either way, they beat the shit out of each other. And maybe the Steelers win or maybe the Ravens would win. But either way, we get a banged up team for the AFC Championship game. And if it happens to be the Steelers, we host the AFC Championship again. If it happens to be the Ravens, because that game is a
They always go at
it. And Ryan Clark talks about how bad your body hurts after a Ravens-Steelers game. So you would have a banged up, well, I'm not saying, but that would be my perfect scenario in an alternative universe. Realistically, I don't think we win in the first game. I don't. All these teams can score, and our defense would have to be lights out. So that's my. Okay, so who is missing? Do you want to redo any of your picks before right now?
No, I'm gonna stick with it because I gotta try to catch up to Jeremy. So I gotta leave him as is.
The only one I was thinking about. Wait, who is it? Come on, let's see.
I swear to God, if my team wins tomorrow and they make the playoffs, I'm going to cry sadness and happiness because, yay, they made the playoffs, but shit, we won. Fuck.
Yeah, that's going to be a little crazy.
The sad part is they could beat the Saints.
I definitely need the Dolphins to win because I do not want to have to go to Buffalo to play Buffalo in Buffalo.
Well, I believe if Buffalo loses, I don't think they can they clinch?
Yes, they can. If Buffalo can get the 6th seed, They have a 68% chance of making the playoffs with the loss.
Buffalo beats Miami, they will clinch. Okay, that's actually not what I want to know. I want to know if they lose, can they still make it?
Here we go. NFL playoff scenarios.
Yeah, I just pulled up CVS.
Okay. No,
So
I
the
don't want
Steelers
to
have
fucking
to lose. The Jaguars have to lose. So if the Jaguars or Steelers lose,
yeah,
they can make it without winning.
The Bills can clinch with a win, or they can clinch with a tie and a Steelers loss or a tie, a Jaguars loss or a tie, and a Texan Colts tie.
Yeah, so they have ways of making it.
Can only clinch with a win and a Jaguar loss.
But that's the thing. So if the Bills lose and the Jaguars win and the Steelers win, they're out.
Yeah. The Steelers can clinch with a win, a Bills loss, a Jaguars loss. Oh, the Steelers can clinch with a win and a Bills loss.
Yeah. If the Steelers win tonight, the Bills have to win or they're out. The Bills can only get the 2 seed or nothing.
So the well, no, the Bills can get the 6 seed.
No, if the Steelers win, they can't.
Oh, yeah. But if the Steelers lose, they can. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, if the Steelers lose, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they'd have to win and the Steelers lose. Okay, I got you. Okay, so all right, so what else the fuck did I have?
Just basketball and the fight.
Oh, so fight Anthony Joshua. Just to we're not changing any of our picks. To let everybody know, Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou has been signed. It's gonna be a fight. Deontay Wilder, you fucking son of a bitch. You son of a biscuit eater. I'm not gonna say bad things about you. I shouldn't even call you son of a bitch because you're not a son of a bitch. I can't even get mad at you because Joseph Parker just whooped your ass for 12 rounds and you just didn't have it in you. But you fucked the world. You and Anthony Joshua, y'all have been fucking the world for fucking 6-7 years. Y'all, when both of y'all had the belts and neither one of y'all wanted to fight each other because we don't have enough money and I'm the draw. He won't come to America. I don't want to go to England. Fighters fucking fight. And now because that we missed one of the best opportunities to have the fight for the undisputed championship at the time of heavyweight division. We missed it. And then if Deontay Wilder would have fought, we'd already had the lineal champion. Tyson Fury would have all this shit. And we wouldn't even have anything to do with Usyk. But now y'all motherfuckers had a chance to come together after all the shit talking, after all the years of talking about all this and stuff, and y'all signed a 2-fight deal before the fucking Joseph Parker, and then you lost. And what do we get next? We don't even get Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, or Anthony Joshua, the winner of Tyson Fury and Usyk. We don't even get Anthony Joshua against Joseph Parker. No, we get Anthony Joshua against Francis Ngannou. And I'm going to let you know, my initial reaction to this was Anthony Johnson is going to whoop the shit out of Francis. That's my initial reaction. After I thought about it more and did some more research on it and studied it, I mean, when I put in the Discord, that was my first reaction as soon as I saw that come through. Once I thought about it more, paid attention to it, rewatched the Tyson Fury fight with Francis, watched some more Anthony Joshua fights. I've come to the same conclusion. Anthony Joshua is going to beat the shit out of Francis Ngannou. And this isn't even going to be fun. This is not going to be a fun fight. This is not going to be, does Francis have a shot? Yes, because he has a puncher's chance, because he has so much power. But the difference between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury is a showman. He's an entertainer. Tyson Fury did not take, I don't think Tyson Fury took Francis serious. I do not think he took Francis serious at all. Did he train? Yes. But do I think he trained like a heavyweight championship bout? No. I think Tyson Fury thought that he was going to be able to come out, keep him extended on the edge of his jab, be able to move around and do that. He also tried to use his weight on him. The same thing he did with Deontay Wilder, but that didn't work. I think Tyson Fury's game plan was absolutely trash. And I think if they fought again, Tyson Fury would beat the shit out of Francis. Now, does Francis have a punching chance? Yes. But Anthony Joshua is so technically sound. People forget how technically sound he is. And the way that he's going to beat Francis is the same way he beat Vladimir Klitschko, the same way he beat Ruiz in the second fight, the same way he beat Dylan White. He's going to move and keep him on the edge of that jab. Anthony Joshua has knocked out people and has won fights in various different ways. He has won them by outboxing them. He has won them by taking the fight to them. He has won them by being a brawler. He has... Are you You on the Sam schedule.
Yeah, what are you
Ah,
doing?
man, I missed my alarm.
It's okay. Right now, we're just talking about Anthony Joshua and Francis.
For sure.
Basically, I think Anthony Joshua is going to beat the shit out of him. He's more talented. If he comes up with the game plan he used against Vladimir and Andy Ruiz too, where he keeps him on the edge of that jab and does not let him go inside and moves around in circles, I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a fight. I think Francis has a puncher's chance, and another reason why I think Anthony Joshua will stay outside is Joshua does not have the chin that Tyson Fury has. So if Francis does catch him, he can clip him and hurt him. We've seen this multiple times, but I think he fights very similar to Andy Ruiz. And I don't think that Francis has is still too new to fight in that boxing ability.
Which Andrew
I
Ruiz fight are you thinking? The second one
the
or the
second
first one?
second one. The first one he got knocked out. Stop it. The second one.
Well, that's
The
what I
second.
mean.
Yeah.
He's got them wobbly legs now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can get caught. He can get caught, and we know if he gets caught, his chin is not the same. Quentin, shut my door. But the second one is the second fight. He went with Vladimir, and he kept him on that jab. He outboxed Vladimir at Vladimir's own style. Also the same fight that he had with Usyk. Usyk, he couldn't do nothing with. That's where I think that's where Anthony Joshua loses. Where either he has a puncher that he doesn't take serious, or he has a guy that is just technically better than him, which is Usyk. Francis has a shot, but I think Francis should have fought Deontay Wilder. I think Francis should have fought another bomber instead of getting into a ring with a technical masterpiece. Like Anthony Joshua, if you want to train to be a boxer and watch his fucking ass, because he's not the guy that like Floyd has incredible speed. Deontay Wilder has incredible power. Anthony Joshua does not have incredible any of that shit. He's just built fucking huge and he works out, but he is technically sound, and that's why he wins a lot of fights. How do you think the fight's gonna go?
I think just because I don't think they want to let these guys lose to Francis, that they'll pull some shenanigans like last time if it's close. Um, but I think Francis will hang. Um, I guess Joshua probably won't take him as lightly as Fury did. So I don't think they want to get embarrassed. They'll probably, you know, maybe keep it conservative, like you said, just keep him at the end of the jab. Um, so I think probably Joshua wins a close one, unless they really let Francis
They're not.
flourish, and
They're not.
if so, he may have a chance at the upset, like you said. But
Listen,
yeah, I think it's gonna be carefully crafted.
go and rewatch the Tyson Fury and Francis fight and tell me who. Go rewatch it. Turn the sound off. Rewatch it this weekend, and then tell me who you think won that fight.
I think Francis won.
I'm telling you, go rewatch the fight. Turn all the sound off. Do not listen to the commentators. Just rewatch the fight and tell me who you think won that fight again. I'm not saying
Puerto
that.
Rican.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Tyson Fury beat the hell out of him, but I don't think it was as close as what everybody thinks it was. I think the biggest thing people like to talk about is that knockdown that he had. I think that was the biggest thing, was the knockdown. I think after that fight was not really that close. I think the fight with Anthony Joshua and Francis will be way closer, but they're not going to let them win. There's no way. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm not saying boxing is rigged like 100%, but there's no way that they're going to let that unless he knocks him out. Francis is going to have to knock people out to win the fights. That's, I think, his only way to knock him out. Okay. So, Fury landed 20 more punches than or I'm sorry, 12 more punches than Ngannou. He landed 31% of his punches. He also threw less punches, so had better accuracy. He landed 39 jabs to Ngannou's 22. He landed 28.5%. He threw 137 jabs. Power punches, Francis landed 37 to 32. But he threw 116. And Tyson Fury only threw 86. Tyson Fury was making Francis miss a lot less than Francis was making Tyson miss. And that's where I think it comes down to the fight. Like, and when you look at the round 1, 8-3, round 2, 3-2, round 3, it was 3-9 in Ngannou. So first 2 rounds, there not a lot of boxing. First round, Francis or Fury outboxed him. Second 2 rounds, it was close. I mean, the 3-9 because Fury didn't hit
Did you
any
just make him a furry?
Fury, whatever the fuck his name
He's
is.
a-
I
So
was
we
like,
have.
he's going to the
So I mean,
convention now.
realistically, you could give Francis 2, 3, and hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's 11-6 first round Fury, 7-6 the
Are
second
those
round Francis.
significant strikes?
I'm looking at total punches. When we go to power punches, I could break them down because they have jabs and power punches. So in round 3, and round 4. Let me see. Round 3, round 4, round 6. So he outlanded power punches in round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8, but it was by 1. But the difference is, and I'm not saying it's horrible, but like for instance, there's one round where he threw 29 power punches and landed 7. Flurry threw 6 and landed 15. So, I mean, Flurry threw 15 and landed Fury threw 15 and landed 6. So, if you look at the punch stats overall, there's 3 rounds that fucking Francis outlands Fury, and it's by like 2 or 3 punches. It's not like so when you turn off the commentary, that's why a lot of people say when you watch combat sports, a lot of time turn off the commentary because the commentary allows you to they sway your conscience. Just like with the crowd. Whenever somebody's hitting and you're an ooh ah, doesn't mean the punch is landing. So when you go back and rewatch the fight, it's a close fight, but it's not a robbery. It's really not. Like most of the rounds, I would say were 10-9 rounds for Fury, besides the round that Francis knocked him down. So I mean, I may give him 3 rounds. So in that scenario, you have 3 points, 4 points out of 10 rounds. Fury still wins 6-4. So it would be a 1-round fight. Maybe you give him 2 rounds, but it's not a robbery like people are talking about. It's yes. Am I going to, as a judge, if I'm watching the fight, there's more times that Fury knows how to score points in boxing that Francis does not. And that's what it comes down to is Francis is still learning to go from MMA to boxing. And a very good idea or it's not a good example, but it's a way to let people understand the difference between MMA and boxing. Remember when Conor fought Floyd? And Conor
Yeah.
was overly tired and Floyd was whooping the shit out of his ass. Do you know what Conor should have done? Taken a knee. Conor should have taken a knee because in boxing, you don't get hit when you're on the ground. So Conor can take a knee, go down to a knee, start to get 10 seconds to catch his breath, get his lungs back while he's getting tired, stop taking damage for a second, and get your head on straight, and then go back to defending yourself. It puts you from a position that is not advantageous to yourself to a position that is more neutral. And we've seen boxers do this in multiple times in a ring where they're up against the ropes and they know they're about to get hurt, but they just take a knee because it's better than getting knocked the fuck out at that time because you can get your senses back together. So that
Yeah,
is
but
the
you lose
biggest.
street cred.
Nobody cares about that. That is the biggest difference in that's the difference in boxing and MMA. So that's when I say that yes, judging on the fight. If you're a casual person watching boxing, judging by the fight, you're gonna look at it and go, "Oh, Francis threw the harder punches. It looks like he landed the harder punches. It looks like this. The commentators were surprised with what Francis was doing, and the crowd was oohing and awing every single time. But then you look at angles and how they score, and I'm not an expert at it. I'm just more than a casual. And then you look at how it's scoring and the tricks that they use, where the punch is landing. How is he throwing them? Is he throwing them in combinations where 2 or 3 are getting through, or is he throwing them where only one punch at a time? So you look at that, you look at a whole bunch of ring generalship, and I honestly think Tyson won that fight. I think it was close, but I think the only people that could look at giving that fight to Francis was people that were impressed by the knockdown and he was doing something to the one of the best heavyweight boxers that nobody would have thought he would have done. So that's my take on that fight. In this fight, I think it's completely different. When you say it's going to be close, I think it's only going to be close because nobody's going to get knocked out. I think that this would be a fight where if they go 10 rounds, Joshua wins 9. Like when you see the scorecard, people are going to complain because they're going to be like, oh, it's going to be like 99-91 on the scorecard. People like, there may even be a 99-90 because there may be a 10-8 round without Francis going down. So but I still think Francis, if he catches him, can knock him the fuck out. And that's the only way I think Francis is going to win these fights until he gets 2 to 3 years in. Shit, you could see the difference with Jake Paul from his fight with Nate Robinson and Tyron Woodley to his fight with Tommy Fury. I'm not counting the last fight because the last fight was fucking cover up. It was fixed. So you can see the differences and how they gained, how they move with angles. The more Francis does this, the better he's going to get. But he's going against the top competition, and they understand what's going to happen. Is he ever going to fight MMA again?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Unless they do like you know, like a specialty fight, I guess. You know, the big money making fight. But if not, I think he sticks with boxing.
What money making fight do you think he could get that would be more than what he's getting now?
Um, well, wasn't there talks of him fighting MMA with somebody that wasn't like an MMA fighter?
Yeah,
I
but
can't remember.
there's not a combat sport that pays more than boxing.
I think somebody was mentioning PFL that
Yeah, he's
he
in the
might
PFL. He owns part of the PFL.
right, but they were supposedly thinking of doing a fight in PFL with him versus someone else. I can't remember who.
I know they were talking about John Jones. I know they were talking about that. They've talked, but again, how much money is he going to make?
All of it.
And
I mean,
MMA
probably
is
not as much
way
as
more.
boxing.
It's way more damaging than boxing.
Yeah, I'm not sure who else they'll find, but they'll find somebody.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
I
only
just
got limited options at this point.
I think if I was him, I would stay in boxing. And I think one thing that changed with Connor, and one thing that people aren't understanding is boxing is different than MMA. You use different muscles, different. It's very similar in stand up, but the way you train is completely different from MMA. And the further you get away from boxing, from doing your MMA training and going towards boxing, you're rewiring your body to train differently and to defend differently. And I think that's kind of what happened with Connor. Connor has not looked good since he came back from boxing. I think
Well,
that
he
might have
also
happened
got
with
that
Francis.
proper 12 money too.
He does. He does got that proper 12
So,
money. He's fucking
so
proper
he's
12 money. He's got all that fucking money. Motherfucker shit.
yeah.
NBA. Anything, couple of quick things I want to talk about in NBA. What do you think about the trade? We were talking about this earlier. The trade with the
We
Raptors
were
and the
talking
Knicks.
about it off camera.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on it?
I think I saw what's his name? OG went
OG
um
Ananobi went to the Knicks.
to the Knicks, right?
Yeah, with
So
Malachi and Precious
that's
Achua.
supposed to be like no, Precious is supposed to be the defensive pickup, right?
OG
That's yeah, it's I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand the trade. I don't get the trade at all, but I'll give you the whole entire trade because we need to read it on the thing. So the New York Knicks acquire OG Anunoby in a trade that sends RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly and a 2024 second round pick to the Toronto Raptors. The Knicks are also getting forward Precious and guard Malachi Flynn in the deal that have been pursuing. So basically, the Knicks are getting 3 players. The Raptors are getting 2 and a second round pick.
Yeah, I don't think it's like I guess that impactful. I think they'll probably each improve slightly in a few areas, but I don't know if it's
Well, the
enough
Raptors
to
were very much not in it this year, so they're probably looking to just get pieces for a rebuild.
yeah.
Because I think
Yeah, I mean
Pascal is on the move next.
I think
I
it's
agree.
a
Yeah,
blockbuster
they're
and
taking. Yeah,
they're starting to sell.
I'm gonna be honest. This
No,
is the most nickiest trade I've ever seen. This trade is very similar to Kamala Anthony trade. This is one of the most stupidest fucking trades I've seen. I don't care what anybody says. We got a little better on defense. We got OG Anobi is longer. He's a better. Yes, he is a better defender. I 100% understand. But this is a wash. OG and RJ Barrett are almost identically the same fucking players. Let's be 100% real. I've compared their stats. We compared their stats off. But to give
Yeah,
you an
they're
idea,
very similar.
yeah, to give you an idea, right now OG is averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 2.6 assists. RJ Barrett, oh fuck, is averaging. I think he's averaging 18 points. There we go. He is averaging 16. He's averaging 18.2 with the Knicks, 18.1, 3.8 rebounds, and 2.4 assists. He's averaging 2 points higher, 0.3 less rebounds, and about the same amount of assists. And if you go on their career, they're very, very similar. OG has been in the league 2 years longer. OJ is a free agent at the end of this year, so they have to repay him. Do you think he's gonna get paid more than RJ Barrett? RJ Barrett right now?
They're going to pay either of them.
Yeah,
Just
well
give
then
the wrong people.
yeah, so now they're gonna have to repay him. He's on a smaller contract right now, but it's gonna be 25, 26 million at this offseason. So they're gonna pay him for 4 years. So it's gonna extend longer than RJ Barrett. So they're gonna pay more money over RJ Barrett. Emmanuel Quickly is a fucking bucket. Granted, they don't need him because of Jalen Brunson, but he's still a bucket.
He could have won 6 Man of the Year if he stayed.
Yeah, exactly. So my opinion with this trade is the RJ Barrett OG wash. It's a wash. They may be a little better defensively, but they're a little worse offensively. You see what I'm saying? And
for Emmanuel Quickly.
And then out of that, the best player, the next best player is Emmanuel Quickly. Precious Achiuwa will be, I think he's a free agent this year as well. I think he was just a salary. I think that's what
for a pick.
Those are just salary dumps. That's all that's for. Those are salary. Because of the difference between Ginobili and RJ Barrett. Because if I'm not mistaken, let's see, 4 million. Yeah, okay. He's earning 4 million. That's it. So 4 million, 18 million plus 4 million is 24 million, 22 million, 23 almost. RJ Barrett makes 23. Emmanuel Quickly is on the last year of his contract, if I'm not mistaken. Emmanuel Quickly is earning $4 million. He's on the last unlikely to yeah, he's on the last deal of his contract too. Yep, he's a restricted free agent. So
I didn't even realize Taj Gibson was still on the Knicks.
So maybe they didn't want to play. Maybe they didn't want to pay Emmanuel Quickly, but they're gonna. Yeah, he did come back. He was on the Timberwolves for a while. Maybe they didn't want to pay Emmanuel Quickly, but I mean, I just think it's a nickiest trade. It's you wanted to make a splash, you wanted to get somebody, and you didn't. You did it for Anobi, and this is the weirdest thing. Last offseason, they could have gotten Donovan Mitchell.
They didn't want to pay him.
And there was something going on with the trade where they didn't want to include somebody, and it might have been RJ Barrett at the time. But that's how Cleveland snuck in on the trade, and with the draft picks and all that, and then you immediately trade him for somebody. I just don't get it. It's a Knick trade to me.
Well, the Knicks make no sense because they don't want to pay their right players. Like they pay the wrong people.
They always want big names. And I guess RJ Barrett. And again, RJ Barrett's going to work out great for Toronto because he's perfect for rebuilding. But he probably won't be there in 2 years. But yeah, he's going to work out pretty good for Toronto. I think it's a nice little pickup. Plus, he's Canadian, so he gets to go back to Canada.
Yeah, I saw that. I was on Twitter just a minute ago, and I saw someone said that the Raptors should offer Pascal Siakam and get Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and one other player in return. I was like, that's
okay. The all Canada team.
Yeah, build the Canada national team.
Okay. So speaking of that, let's jump on to the Warriors since that was brought up. What is this shit I'm hearing about Steve Kerr? Like, there's articles saying fans want Steve Kerr on the hot seat. Fans are upset with after Jonathan Kuminga's benching. Jonathan Kuminga doesn't think that he can reach his max potential under Steve Kerr. What the fuck is going on here, y'all?
I haven't seen any of that shit.
I was just reading it, and Unfortunately, Kuminga hasn't done much with the Warriors since being there.
He's trying to blame Steve Kerr because he got benched. Hold on. Here it is. Warriors fan put Steve Kerr on the hot seat from Bleacher Report. Now, it's Bleacher Report, so they talk about a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, honestly, I think just they need to move on. They need a separation, like when Carmelo left the Nuggets, because George Karl needed a separation from him.
So, okay, my question that I have is which I already signed into that. My question that I have with all that is, it's 2 years ago Steve Kerr won a championship.
Yep,
2 seasons ago. He's got 5 rings, 4 rings. Yeah, 4 rings. He's got 4 rings. Yep, 4 rings. No, he's got 3. They had 3 and 5, and then they have 1 after that because they beat the Cavs in 2014, 15, or 2015.
I don't need his basketball career.
Yeah, 2014, 15, or 2015, 16. Then the Cavs came back from them, and then they got KD, and they won 2 straight, and then they lost to the Raptors going for a 3-peat. And then after the Raptors, the Lakers end up winning.
He's a 5-time. That's a player. 4-time championship. 2015,
Lakers end up winning.
22.
And then he ends up winning. Yep. Okay. So then the Bucks win, then he wins. Yep. So I'm just not understanding. Again, this is the day and age that we're living in, and I'm gonna kind of refer back to the running back thing we had at the very beginning of this. The day and age that we're living in is where motherfuckers that haven't done shit feel entitled to say that they've done shit. Because I don't understand how Jonathan Kuminga can literally tell everybody, I'm not going to reach my full potential because of Steve Kerr. When motherfucker, you ain't done shit. Steve Kerr
literally got the Warriors to a championship when
Steve Kerr drafted you. Steve Kerr started you and made sure during the championship run that they just had that Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and I can't remember who the other guy was, played a lot of regular season minutes.
I thought it was Wiseman.
Wiseman was already gone from them. If you go to their championship, their last championship roster during the playoffs, Jonathan Kuminga was playing minutes. Jonathan Kuminga was playing, so he got mad because of the bench. But you haven't done shit. Why are we giving people that haven't done shit to talk shit? Oh, get traded, motherfucker. Go ahead. Let's see what Jordan Poole thought. What Jordan Poole think?
Jordan Poole needed to go.
No, he did need to go, but he thought he was a shit. And that's why he got fucking punched by Draymond. Because he was probably sitting up there talking fucking crazy. Going, motherfucker, I'm the shit because he just came off that run with the championship. And they paid him. And he thought he was a shit. And then now he's in fucking Washington not doing shit. The grass isn't always green on the other.
Got to play 4 games last year's championship. Moses Moody got 4 games. They didn't start. They just came off the bench. But they didn't really do much.
There were 6 games in the championship, though.
Yeah, and they played 4 of them.
Yeah, so again, but that was only like their second year. They were like, when he says that Steve Kerr is not, I can't reach my full potential. Steve Kerr, when you guys are young, he is putting you in situations that most young players don't get put in. Let's see. I got to look at Jonathan Kuminga's stats because I've been taking a lot.
I think he's just trying to pull James Harden.
But again, why are we allowing him? He averaged 12 points, 4 rebounds. He's averaging 10 points over his career.
I think they'll try it even if they're allowed to or not. They make enough noise and they become a nuisance, and then the team just
He started 12 games last year. He started 16 this year. 12 games his first year, 16 games his second year.
Yep. They have 7. So, but he's played in 70 games, 67 games. So, I mean, last year, in his second year, he got 20 fucking minutes a game. Now, granted,
maybe he wants 21.
Now he's got 22.
Well, he wants 23 now.
But, you haven't done shit.
Mo's arguments.
If he would have had 23 minutes, he would have done some shit. He needs that extra minute.
And the problem was
put that extra point.
When he got benched.
That's when he starts to get warmed up.
So the person that's playing ahead of him only has 26 minutes. Andrew Wiggins. They can't play at the same time. So only one of them can play. So
they should have a
you're literally
like American Gladiators
coming off the bench. And you're bitching as a third-year player. The only person that's coming off the bench ahead of you is Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's not even playing.
But
He's getting hand surgery next week.
Oh, that's right. So nobody's coming off the bench right now in front of you. But so, I mean, you in 22 minutes, you're 6th, 7th man on have a championship ring. You're playing behind Steph Curry, fucking Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins. I mean, you're playing with some good people, and you're bitching.
Yeah, I was gonna say Draymond.
I think you said it. He got his ring now, so I think he wants something other than a complimentary role. You know, everybody wants to be a superstar.
Well, bitch, you are a complimentary player. Because if you weren't, you
Well,
wouldn't have a complimentary role.
With that attitude, he wants to change the paradigm.
Yeah, so send him to Toronto, and he could have the same effect as Jordan Poole.
Fuck him. Send him to Utah.
No, Utah's actually looking pretty decent.
No, they're not. It's just because it's the beginning of the season. They did this last year.
No, I was talking about with their draft picks. I'm not talking about overall.
Oh, no. Send him to Utah. Nobody wants to go play for Utah.
Send him to Toronto, if anything.
No, Toronto will love him. Send him to Utah, where you're in fucking Mormon country, in Salt Lake City country, and all that shit, and you can't fucking drink on Sunday. Send his ass fucking there.
See. He'd be playing behind Olynyk and Marketing.
Oh, he'd be starting. No, Marketing would be starting.
Marketing would be starting.
Yeah. Marketing is starting.
But they may move Marketing to power forward. Put Olynyk on the bench.
Is not the power forward position.
Who's their small forward?
Small forward is Simon Fonteches something.
Oh, then Kuminga would be starting at small forward.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Kuminga. He'd be starting.
Yeah. But I mean, send him. No, fuck that. Don't even send him there. I'm gonna give you a team.
Utah'd be too good. Send him to Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. What? Send him to the fucking Wizards with Jordan Poole.
Send him to the Wizards.
Yeah, I don't want to send him to Detroit because they might actually be good.
Not this year.
No, but if I'm not, that could be the spark they need to turn them around. Not. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Okay, so you're saying that you should send Kuminga to the Wizards and have him start over Denny.
Yes, and then you have Jordan Poole and him, and both
Kyle
of them are bitches. And Kyle Kuzma. No, they'll get Kyle Kuzma in response for
okay, so trade for Kuzma.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So don't have him suffer in this.
The Pistons did win a game, so we can.
Yay! They beat the Raptors.
That's okay though. They won a game.
They're OG on an OB list. That's why they lost.
Yeah, they're no longer on a losing streak.
Actually, they're on a 3-game losing streak.
They are on a losing streak, but they're no longer on a historic losing streak. Okay.
Give them a little bit. They'll be back.
Right now, I mean, again, NBA season very, very, very slow, lull time. The thing that's surprising me the most is the Suns, and I've read rumors. I haven't heard rumors because I don't know people, but I've read rumors that Kevin Durant is not happy.
Yeah, but when is Kevin Durant ever happy?
Yeah, but he's not.
When he's
happy
on the Warriors.
He wasn't happy.
Only when he's on his burner.
So
yeah,
honestly, rumors that he's not happy. But when is he ever happy?
But how do you not be happy?
Who, Kevin Durant?
Because they suck right now.
I mean, okay, let's think about this for a second.
So, all right, the Suns are the 3rd in the Pacific. That doesn't mean shit to me.
They're 8th seed. They're the 8th seed in the West.
They're the 8th seed in the West. So, I mean,
they're 2 games ahead of the Rockets.
What? Bradley Beal hasn't really played much.
Nope.
It could be worse. It could be the Lakers.
17.
They're only 2 games ahead of the Lakers.
Yeah.
We're
not even that deep in the season. Anything can happen between now and then.
This is the problem with him getting upset or him not being happy is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and repeating and expecting different results, right? Motherfucker, let's think about this, okay? You had a big 3 in Thunder. He didn't push his way out. He actually signed. He left as a free agent.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you had a big 3 in OKC. Didn't work. You had a big 4 in Golden State. It worked. You went and tried a big 3 in Nets. It didn't work. Why do you think a big 3 is going to work in Phoenix? You've had 3 big 3s and they haven't fucking worked.
Well, let's talk about the Warriors one too. He got unhappy there with Draymond.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. Seriously. I can imagine Draymond might be like me. It takes a lot to deal with Draymond.
But he gets upset over everything.
Because he's bitch made. That's why.
With the whole Jordan Poole situation, I didn't care what Draymond did. I was like, Jordan Poole looks like a bitch.
Look, listen, I'm still mad that everybody's making this motherfucker out to be crazy. Fucking Kenyon Martin said it perfectly. He's not crazy because crazy people don't discriminate. Look who he's doing it.
Who he's attacking.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to tell you. That motherfucker's not crazy.
I never said he was crazy.
No, but me and Jeremy got into it because Jeremy said he was crazy.
Me and Mo started eating popcorn and talking.
Yeah, he's not crazy because he does it to Rudy Gobert. No, everybody fucks with Rudy Gobert because he's not going to do shit.
He may not be crazy, but he's also not the most stable person.
No.
He's not stable, but he's not just going out like picking fights. Listen, he knows what he's doing.
I don't think he's unstable. I don't. I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, what adjective would you like to use? He's volatile. He's I guess unpredictable.
I wouldn't say unpredictable. We kind of knew some of the stuff was coming.
I would use enforcer. Because the only time you've ever seen had a problem with Dre is on the court. And if we put him in 1980 or 1990, he would be fucking an enforcer.
I don't think kicking people nuts is enforcing.
I can tell you multiple times that we've seen it happen.
I was gonna say the Detroit Pistons were fucking destroying everybody back then.
Like he'd be Charles Oakley from the Knicks. Tell me I'm lying. No,
but so, he's not in that era.
No, I'm not. I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Like when we say he's not saying he's not crazy, and I like to use this word with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's fucking weird, but he's not crazy. Kyrie Irving has pulled more stunts than fucking Draymond Green has. Granted, Kyrie Irving left a whole
different kind of stunts.
No, Kyrie Irving stunts are actually fucking. Some of them are actually fucking crazy. I believe in flat Earth.
He said that was a joke, but you remember when he went back to Boston and he had the sage going around to remove his
yes. Oh, I'm with my Native American, and I'm not saying, but the way he switches up, Kyrie Irving shows an unstable mentality more than anybody else. And Draymond Green is on the court. He's doing. I'm not saying it's basketball related plays. I'm not saying that at all. Draymond Green no longer is as good as what he used to be. So he has become a very physical player. And a lot of times with physicality, he crosses the fucking line and he does stupid ass shit. 100%. He makes dumb ass choices 100% on the court. But that doesn't mean he's crazy. Because we're putting a narrative on a guy that could ruin a guy based off of on-court issues. But when you go off the court, where's he crazy? When you watch his podcast, have you ever thought he was crazy? He is
when he did it right after out the locker room after losing, that was kind of,
but not crazy though.
Peculiar.
It's peculiar, but not crazy.
That still doesn't take away from the fact that he's, always, I guess, trying to toe that line.
No, but the word we're using is crazy. That is a word so with the definition of it, it puts the lotion on. It's in a fucking padded room, and there's Draymond Green. Where did that even come? Because he punches and kicks people on the fucking court. I'm not saying he is not odd, peculiar. I'm not saying he does not have anger issues or might not even have violence issues when it comes to that. On the court, I might even say he is one of the most competitive people in the world. And because he is no longer at his peak, he is finding other ways to involve himself in the game that is not 100% good. But when this dude is doing nothing crazy outside of the NBA, how is he crazy?
And yet, if LeBron was doing all this, we'd say he's just being a competitor, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Because that's the same thing with Tom Brady. Cam Newton can walk off a press conference because he's pissed that he just lost the Super Bowl. Oh, he's being a baby. But if Tom Brady did it, he's just a competitor. He was upset that he lost.
And I'm listen. I've said this when we were talking to Jeremy. I've seen too many times that they have made men be crazy that weren't crazy just because they did not fit into what they were doing. Draymond Green does not fit into what the NBA wants. That's fine. Suspend him. Suspend him indefinitely. Suspend him 15 fucking games. I'm 100%. I'm sorry. We had a guy named Ron Artest that was fucking elbowing motherfuckers on purpose, and nobody made his ass go to fucking counseling. Nobody.
He squared up and elbowed James Harden right in the side of the head.
Nobody made him go. And this is Ron Artest that literally fought a fan, and nobody said, "Oh, you're going to get no," because we knew who the fuck he was.
The malice.
He changed his name to Meta World Peace. He's all about peace.
He still elbowed James Harden in the fucking face.
But his name had peace in it. So
I don't care. So my
You
my
know,
biggest
that
Uh,
my biggest
bottoms some,
issue with this is, do I think
that
Draymond
bottoms
needs
some favor with people. They're
that
like, at
no?
least he's thinking about peace.
Well, maybe
It
he
was a
just had a bad
peaceful.
reaction. Yeah,
It
it's
was
a
a
peaceful
peaceful
elbow.
elbow.
My biggest
I'm
problem
just gonna
is
go like this, and if your face
sorry, did
gets
he
in the
really
way,
do
it's
it?
your own fault.
does
He changed
Draymond
his
need
name
to
in
be
2020. He's not Meta World Peace anymore.
does Draymond need to be suspended? Yes. Does he need to be? Does 100% he should have been suspended, especially with what he's done. You could have suspended him for 15 games. I don't give a fuck. But does the media need to be saying this man is crazy for on the old altercations that really aren't that crazy? And we've seen happen multiple times in sports. This is not something that you don't go across sports and see shit happening. People get elbowed, people get punched in the face, people get kicked, people get kicked in the fucking nuts, people get walked over. We see this in every fucking sport. But we're going to make this guy the fucking crazy guy because he is physical and violent on the field, in the sports. If he was doing this shit outside like Antonio Brown, I have no problem. I have no problem whatsoever. If he was, and this is the same guy that we love. This same guy that Draymond Green is right now is the same guy that told Kevin Durant, "You're a bitch and we don't fucking need you." That is the same fucking guy now. The only difference is he's not good. So he's resulting to physicalness. He's trying to, you know that saying when it used to be back in the day when players start to get old and they can't play as well, they resort to more physical and more dirty tactics. That's what Draymond's doing.
Really,
But
I'm
he's not
watching a
crazy.
compilation right now of just Ron Artest just beating the crap out of other players.
Yeah, no.
And he literally went out of his way to do all of this.
Yes, no. I'm like, up until that's why, again, I know we're not in the 80s or 90s, but until a certain point in time, roughly about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, nobody would have called Draymond Green crazy. Nobody would have called him that. But now, with the society that we live in, we're taking a guy that is physical as shit and does not deserve to be physical, but we're putting mental issues on him because of what he does on the court. That is my problem. That is my
He has
only
mental
issue.
issues. He may
We
not be
don't
crazy, but he has
we
mental
don't
issues.
know that. We don't know that though. There's nothing that has ever
I have a
allowed us to
hunch.
say that.
You have a
That's
hunch?
that's true.
I have a hunch.
But all you have a hunch on is from what he plays in the NBA. And he's been
He's
doing this most of
he's
his
a
life.
little bit more. His ego's a little bit bigger than most.
I don't know.
Again,
When
but
you
that doesn't mean he's crazy.
from the
I'm
description
not
I'm
saying he's
getting, it sounds like
crazy.
you're thinking
I
he's
said
bigger.
he has mental issues.
Everybody has
He wasn't
mental
hugged.
issues.
He wasn't hugged enough as a kid.
Oh, maybe that's why he's violent. But outside of that,
Yes,
but Draymond Green should be coming back shortly. He should be coming back shortly to the NBA. I think it's in a couple weeks. He rejoins his team. But I still want to know in any scenario.
I
I
don't
mean,
think the I don't think the Warriors win this year.
they're
I
not going to
think
win.
They're not gonna win.
no,
They're not going to win.
it's
They're
not
not
me.
going to make the playoffs. Their run is over with. That's why that special championship was so special 2 years ago. Their run is over with. Standings. I'm still surprised at the Timberwolves. I'm not even gonna lie.
25-9. That looks really good.
There's a couple teams I'm surprised with. The Timberwolves, the Thunder.
The Magic.
I'm not surprised with the Magic.
Not really.
Wait.
What about the Pacers?
Pacers got that rug from the IST. Too bad that didn't work out the same for the Lakers.
The reason why I'm not as surprised with the Magic is because I think this is an early season thing.
All right.
I think by time we get to March, they're going to be 10, 11 seed. There are multiple teams and it's kind of hard because of what's happening, but the Nets can come up, the Bulls can come up. Plus we have the trade thing.
Trade deadline coming up.
Yeah. So they could continue, but I think they're very similar to like the Jazz team as last year. They may make the play-in. They could make the play-in.
Yeah.
That's not surprising because they've kind of been building towards this last year with Pablo and some of their draft picks. So I'm not as surprised with them as I am that the fucking Minnesota Timberwolves are real.
I was about to say, who the fuck is Pablo? Pablo Banchero?
That guy, Pablo Sanchez.
Banchero.
I
Pablo
was thinking
Sanchez
of
from Backyard Football.
I
Backyard
was thinking of
Baseball.
Kanye, The Life of Pablo.
Yeah, again, I'm just saying. Again, since we're bringing up Kanye, we've seen this act before. Now
Dennis
Kanye
Rodman.
Kanye has some mental issues. but he's not as crazy as everybody. He has the mental shit. There's a
I
difference
think
between Kanye and Draymond.
I think him and Draymond are kind of along the
Stop it.
same vein.
Stop it.
No,
They're not
no, no, no.
identical.
There, no,
I'm just
dog.
saying
Do you see? That's the problem.
they
You
like
just
they like to grab headlines.
no,
I'm not saying
Bro,
they have the same
Draymond has
stop,
done
freaking
it and
stop, stop,
slavery is
stop.
his thing.
You
Don't
just
even.
literally went. You literally said that Draymond for being violent on a basketball court is the same as going on a fucking podcast with a mask on.
No, I'm saying they know how to manipulate the media.
Of course, well, most people know how to manipulate the media.
Yeah, but in their masterclass.
So because they're
Masterclass on what? How are they
because they're a
manipulating?
master class at manipulating the media, Draymond Green is on the same level as Kanye in craziness.
No, see, you'd like to equate everything to crazy. Like you can leave that word out of there. I'm just
Okay.
saying that they do shit purposefully to think get people to think,
Oh, there's
they're
no
just
way.
on the rock.
Slavery is a good thing, and choking Rudy Gobert are the same thing.
I'm not saying it's apples to apples. I'm just saying that
No,
they're on the limb on most things.
I no, I get what you're saying, but that is such a generalization to go. They're on the limb as most things.
They are
When
not anywhere near each other.
they're not even in the same fucking sport. Like I get what you're saying, but when you say like Kanye West does manipulation and he might actually be mentally have some mental issues. Draymond Green does manipulation to get the media to do what he wants and say what he says. Those are two totally different things. Draymond
Yeah, but
Green's
see,
doing it,
Kanye still gets publicity, and
but
then
he's
people
doing it
still
as a
buy his
smart
shit.
way. He's doing it as he's actually thinking about it and actually doing it. Kanye's fucking crazy. That's why he's grabbing headlines. He's not manipulating the media. He might actually believe this shit. You don't go on a podcast with a fucking hoodie covered yourself. You go, blah, 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 blah. No. And I believe some of the shit Kanye says. But that's why I ask questions because when we say crazy, Kanye, Draymond, they're not even close. They're not. And that's the issue. When we start saying that players are crazy, we start equating them to other crazy fucking people, especially if we're talking, if even bringing in race, other crazy black people. So we got Antonio Brown, we got fucking Vit Burficit, we got who's is Vontez Burficit. Is he crazy?
Vontez perfect.
Is he crazy?
No, he's just violent.
So why is that? Why is Vontez perfect just violent, but not Draymond?
Because Vontaze Burfict isn't going on his podcast and
Podcast wasn't
self-aggrandizing.
a thing when he was around.
Yeah.
Huh?
Podcasting wasn't a thing when Vontez
So
was playing.
if Vontez goes on podcast now and starts talking about how he loved to hit people, he would be on
How many times did you ever hear him speak?
Vontez.
Yeah,
Different
besides
era.
his press conferences.
That is a different era. You can't say that. That's like saying, oh, if Charles Oakley went on a podcast, he would be crazy.
But that's
That's
why people can't ascertain
no.
if they are or not.
Okay. So what you're saying, let me just
People
okay.
could keep that shit.
No,
People could
I'm
keep
with
that
you
shit
now.
more
I'm following
hidden
you now.
back in the
Yeah.
day.
I'm following what you now. So okay, I'm getting what you're saying now. I'm picking up. See, that was my fault. I'm picking up what you're saying right now. So basically, you're saying that the actions that Draymond is doing on the court, on the court, and then the way that he handles the media
Yeah,
and the reactions
yeah.
make
Like
him crazy.
he doesn't apologize. He justifies shit
Stop it. Stop. Wait,
one
hold
way
on,
or
hold on.
another.
I have a question. So basically, you're saying because he believes in what he does for his actions, he doesn't apologize, he doesn't show remorse because he's okay with what he did. That makes him crazy.
I never say crazy. Like that's
But
what I'm
that's what we're
telling you.
talking
You
about.
can. Yeah, but you keep going back to
Gambling.
crazy. I'm just saying
Get out of
that
it again.
the way that he's gone about things is why people have that certain perception of him.
So what is that certain perception of him? Since I'm the only one that says crazy, what is a certain perception of him?
That he's, I guess, more absorbed and trying to be a team player.
That's not what the media is saying. The media is calling him fucking crazy.
They were saying he's unhinged.
They're making him go to fucking counseling, Mauricio. Like your
That's
view
all
of it.
just that's all part of him not being contrite. So
No,
they're gonna
no,
go
no.
through the motions of, oh, you have to accomplish X, Y, and Z before
In
we
what
allow you to come
country, in
back.
what world do we live in that you're not contrite, that you now have to go to counseling and therapy and you're unhinged? Because and unhinged is a word that you use for crazy people. It is not a word you use for contrite. It is not a word you use because you don't apologize. The words that they are using are words that are used for people that are fucking crazy. And they're not, it is
Unhinged just mean could just mean you're
if I
not
told you you came unhinged,
allowed.
you had a crazy moment. Am I wrong on that?
You
So
can
the
have an
meaning of
unhinged
unhinged
moment without being
is
crazy.
mentally unbalanced.
What does it say, Sam?
Mentally unbalanced is the meaning of unhinged. I hope you
Thank
know
you.
this.
Thank you. So I get we have other definitions to words that people kind of see it, but when the media uses unhinged, they know what they're saying. They're saying this fucker is mentally unbalanced because he's not apologizing. Do you under? They're creating a narrative around a guy that they dislike that has been attacking the media for the last 3 to 4 years, and the media is getting back at Draymond Green. That's what's happening. Like conspiracy theory out the fucking window. Way out the window. And I'm not saying that he is not a violent person, but the words that they are using in the media to describe him is painting him as a unstable mental person,
Unfortunately, if they're
which
using the
becomes
word unhinged, that's where I got.
crazy. So it's not, so I get maybe your definition, the way you're looking at it is okay, it's this and this and this, and you're not seeing how well the media is going after him, but they're literally calling him fucking crazy. And
Well, he's not helping his cause.
nobody goes to counseling because they don't say sorry. Nobody goes to counseling because they don't apologize. Nobody does. Oh, I hit somebody in the face like this, and I'm saying it was an accident because he said when he came out and hit him in the face, he said, I never apologize for what I don't do. I did not mean to hit him in the face. He literally came out on the press conference and said something very similar to those words. So it's not literally, but something very
And
similar.
who how many people believe them?
I don't know. I don't know. But see that my problem that so if he comes out and says something and you put you're not paying attention to his words. You're putting what you think on that. That doesn't make him crazy. That
There
is
was a
coming out
video.
a video of what?
There was a video of him smacking somebody. So it's not like, you're just going
So
off
I
of
pulled up the
something
video of
subjective.
him hitting Yusuf Nurkic.
The video when he hit Yusuf Nurkic, he said I did not mean to hit him in the face.
That's what I mean. Like when you say some shit like that, and I'm looking at that video, that shit doesn't add up.
Let's say, let's pull up a
Does
review.
it make him unhinged?
That's just some unhinged shit right there.
So,
So
all right, hold
basically
up,
you're
hold up,
saying
hold
he's
up, hold up.
mentally unbalanced.
Can we
At that
pull
point,
this up real
his mental was not balanced in
So
itself.
basically you're calling him crazy for hitting somebody on the court.
quick? Do you mind
I guess
just
he had a momentary lapse in
let's pull it up real quick. You ready?
momentary insanity.
So here's the hit. He's trying to get open and just swings his arm around.
You see the wind up?
Yeah.
No, that's not a fucking natural basketball
No,
movement.
it's not. It's not. It's not. Now, my question for you is, did he mean to hit him in the face or was he just trying to throw him around, not knowing his face was right there? That's what I'm not saying that Draymond Green is not an asshole and doesn't mean
When do you ever bring your fucking arm around when
on
you're
multiple.
facing up? When
But
you're
the
facing up on somebody
swing his arm
without the
around.
ball?
No, again, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying he did not mean to hit him.
He
I'm
definitely meant to hit
saying,
him.
what if he did mean to hit him in the face, which is what he's saying? Maybe
So
when
he meant to hit him in the throat? Like that shit
no.
is hella high up.
Okay, so you're posted up. You're posted up. You're posted up, right? I mean, let's put it this way. Let me put it this way. Let me give you a much easier advantage of this. If he meant to fuck him up, why didn't he elbow him? Because the quickest way to get him would have been a fucking elbow. So if he
Yeah, but you
meant to
can't
hit,
play that off as
no,
easily or pretend to
yeah, I
play it
can.
off.
Yes, the fuck I can. Back up, bomb. So by doing this, there's nobody in the fucking world that's going to come from a position like this when I have an elbow right here. That's the quickest way for me to use it. I can literally say I was boxing out going like this, or I'm going to go No, he was trying, and in a world where people flop, and he said he was trying to sell the call in that world, but no, you guys don't believe him. So because you don't believe him, you don't believe the words that are coming out of his mouth, not you, but maybe the media. Everybody says, "Oh, well, that's not what he meant to do. That's not what he meant to do." That doesn't even make sense to turn around and slap somebody like that when you can fucking elbow them. And we've seen him do it
That
before.
motherfucker don't make sense. So, like,
Okay,
for you to try to apply logic to somebody that does some illogical shit, that's where you lose me.
I'm
So basically, when we start using logic, that's where we have to throw everything out the window.
But it's okay for you guys to apply logic in places that don't matter. Because
I'm
you're
just
saying
saying that how
logically
the fuck,
nobody does
what,
that.
like, what call is he trying to sell? Like, there's
He
in at
told
no
you.
point.
He told you he
Yeah,
was
but
grabbing
there's no
jersey.
point where you watch that and you say, "Oh, I could see where you could sell that
The over
call."
the back
Like,
foul.
there
Yes,
is
you can.
nowhere where
Yes.
Where can Nurkic be called for what?
Over the
Did
back.
I hold on? Did I say that he was? I said he was selling a call. He literally said, if you look at it,
Yeah, that
Nurkic
was
is
the
pulling
worst. That was the worst selling of a call.
that.
That was the worst selling of a call.
Nurkic is pulling on his fucking jersey the whole time. The whole fucking time. The whole time he keeps pulling his fucking jersey. And again,
Did he get that call?
no, but do we
Exactly.
not?
That shit did
Oh,
not
I'm
work.
sorry. I'm sorry. Is flopping not in the NBA? Is flopping not in the NBA? How many times have we seen people overly fucking flop? Is it not in the fucking? How many times have we seen Chris Paul kick his fucking leg out to kick somebody? And it's not,
So he
he's
should have
flopping.
been hit with floppy too.
No, oh, I'm sorry. So, but because Draymond's doing it, it's now he's crazy. That's my issue. There are so many other variables that could go into this, and everybody's saying he's fucking crazy because the media is. Everybody, we have flopping in the NBA consistently. We have seen tons of flopping, tons of fucking flopping. We've seen people try to injure people in real fucking life. And the easiest way to do that would have been an elbow. That's an elbow. Left elbow, real quick. Bam! I didn't know he was there. I just turned around.
I think he knew what would have happened if he would have went that route, and he's trying to live in the grave.
Okay, so listen,
So
the reason why I feel sorry for Green, and I'll make this very, very simple, is because I've seen over my lifetime people get ruined in the media based off of what other people feel. And we have a scenario called cancel culture that does it all the fucking time. All the time. All of it. We have people that get ruined for no matter what they did beforehand, no matter how they feel, no matter what we can do this for. You throw crazy around on somebody, and that's the term media uses. Now, granted, am I a conspiracy theorist? Of course. That is a term that they
You
use
got your tinfoil hat
consistently
on.
whenever they want to fuck somebody up. They're unhinged. They're not mentally stable. They're crazy. They use that on multiple categories. And in this scenario, the only reason why I'm defending him is I'm not defending Antonio Brown. I'm not defending people that do shit outside of the sport that make me think they're crazy. He doesn't do anything. You haven't heard shit from him. Him and LeBron are fucking like this. He doesn't do shit.
Yeah, I
He
gotta
has
run. So we got some. Gotta
I gotta go
go. Eat some lunch. So
just here to say Raiders. What
and
the
I'm not.
for hell? I hope the Raiders win. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
I gotta
issue.
go.
Later, Sam.
I will catch y'all later.
I was gonna say Jeremy.
good job, Sam.
Mo, yeah, so that's my issue. I'm not saying, and
I
I'm
see what you
passionate about,
mean,
yeah,
but
it's
I'm just saying that he already has a um he's trying to change media. You know, he keeps referring to new media, so he's
that's the problem.
also ostracizing himself, and media is gonna look at anything that he does to cut him down, to take away his credibility. But he doesn't help his cause either. Is what
He
I'm
doesn't.
saying.
He
The
doesn't.
truth is somewhere in the middle.
He doesn't help his cause. He does not. But for somebody that's attacking the media, this is a run of mill thing what the media does, and he's been attacking them
I
for
mean,
years.
he knows though that it's 24-hour news cycle, and anything that he's gonna fucking do is gonna get put under a magnifying glass and
Of
under a
course, he knows
microscope.
what he's doing.
So
But again, for this action, this is my problem. He's been suspended 3 times. You're 100% right. He does fucked up shit. He's done this his whole career. Just doesn't make him crazy. Anything else you want to talk about with the NBA?
Shit. I guess some people are wanting to put Darvin Ham on the hot seat, so that'll be interesting to see if they make any moves at a trade deadline to try
They're
and
gonna have to. They have to.
I think somebody mentioned I think Zach Levine or something, so I don't know if that would be a fix or whom else we can bring in to
Um,
help
I would
LeBron.
say I would say what they need is first of all they need to get rid of D'Angelo Russell. And I'm telling this is funny. This is so funny because I just want to bring up his stats real quick because I remember saying this last year and I just want to see if I'm right before I fucking talk shit. But I think they're gonna have to get rid of Levine and I think they're gonna have to get rid of Austin Reeves. I think those are the two players that they're gonna need to trade to get somebody in. I don't think Austin Reeves is horrible. I just think he comes with the most value. And I believe that you should trade them a year too early before you trade them a year too late. He's averaging 15 points a game. He's not playing bad. He's got 87% free throw shooting, 55%. But I think you can get that replacement someplace else, and he's not on a good contract. I think if they can't trade Russell, they're going to have to trade Austin, but they're probably going to have to move him and Russell to get somebody of what they want. I'm not 100% sure Zach Levine's going to be the one. I think it's more or less like a Deontay Murray. Um, Especially on contract. Deontay Murray is way cheaper than Zach Levine. Or a another. I'm trying to think of another guy that's on another point guard that's on the trade block that could work. Dylan Brooks would work for them last year too.
Yeah, I'm not sure who
Uh,
else is on the trade block.
DeAndre Hunter. Yeah. I don't really see much, but I think they're gonna have to go and make a trade. I know Zach Levine's one of them. DeMar DeRozan might work. Um, I just think with having Zach Levine, he's an offensive scorer. He's an offensive player, and I think your defense is going to take a hit. And I think they need more defense as well as offense.
Yeah.
Or they go after Chris Paul.
I was thinking maybe that would be an option too, since that's the only banana brother he hasn't played with,
Yeah,
or banana boat.
Warriors should trade Wiggins. I agree with you. I agree that Warriors should trade Wiggins, but I think the Warriors should go through a rebuild. That's just me. I think they should trade Clay.
Yeah, well, I think Clay is realizing that he's at the end of his rope too.
Yeah, and he's not going to get paid the same that he was, and then he's going to start punching people. Um, and then no, I don't have my Sixers are playing halfway decent. I don't know what's gonna happen with them in the trade market. I've heard Zach Levine. I would not mind Zach Levine with the Sixers, but I think that would be with him and Maxi. That would be very similar. I don't mind him, but I would love to see fuck Chris Paul with the Sixers. I would love to see a lot of people with the Sixers. But I don't care if we don't make a run. So I think with Boston, I think right now Boston is far ahead of everybody. I know that Milwaukee is right behind them, but I think Boston is just the best team in the East by far. Some point in time,
Yeah, I
Damon
think
Lillard,
so.
yeah, I think they're going to end up being the number one seed. They may mollywop their way through the playoffs unless injuries happen, and they'll end up making the finals again. They are really really good with Drew Holiday, fucking Brown, Tatum, Porzingis. They're really good. Al Horford, they're really good.
Still a lot of season left. You never know. The
Yeah, I
wheels
mean,
might
of
fall
course,
off in the playoffs.
yeah, injuries and all that stuff. But just judging, if I had to pick right now, I would pick the Celtics
That's
as a
not a
team that
bad
wins
pick.
the most.
Either them or Milwaukee, I guess. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely pick them. Milwaukee, I like Milwaukee. I just don't. I'm still expecting Damian Lillard to get injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once that happens, I think that's a totally different team in the playoffs for them. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I guess I don't know what all covered on the first hour,
Oh,
but
we
nothing that
just
comes
talked
to
about.
mind.
No, we all we did was we talked about running backs. Um, Eric Dickerson said that running backs were the reason why they're devalued themselves. It's not that the position has been devalued. It's running backs devalued themselves by allowing other running backs to come in. And we went through how many running backs have held out. We went through the running backs that held out this year. So you had
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, and Josh Jacobs. Out of all four of those, my opinion was only one had the right to hold out, and that was Josh Jacobs, leading the league the year before. He had he had over 4,000 yards, in so he did and he was mostly healthy. Saquon Barkley was way too injured, way too fucking injured. When he was there, he played. Jonathan Taylor had one good year. Two not two bad years, but one great year, and the rest of them were kind of average, 1,100. And then Austin Eckler has never had over 1,000 yards. So we kind
Yeah.
of just went through that. And when Eric Dickerson said that, I thought about it, and I was like, "You didn't see holdouts like that." Eric Dickerson said, "I knew the guy behind me could do my job, so that's why I did my job. I was always there." So he basically said the running backs have allowed Raiders got their run. Yeah, Josh is gone. The running backs have allowed by holding out, by letting the when they're yeah, you can come in and take some snaps because I need a rest. I'm getting injured by holding out, by they allowed their self to be devalued. It is their reason. And when we look at it, it makes sense. Like we went through holdouts and there wasn't that many holdouts until the 2000s. And there's been more holdouts since 2009, 2010 than ever before in the history of the NFL, and most of them are running backs. And because of that position, and also what we said was there's only one, so you don't have four on the field. And the difference between them and wide receivers are you can spot. There's very different archetypes with the wide receivers. You know I'm fast. You know I'm tall. You know I'm physical. You know I got jumping ability, route runner, all this stuff. Running backs, if you don't have a line, it doesn't matter how fast you are. So it doesn't. You can be great, but if your line sucks, you're just going to get hit in the backfield. So I think it's harder for teams to
They're more
realize
dependent on their
exactly more
protection.
things. Exactly. Even with the bad quarterback as a receiver, you could make a great fucking play. So that's kind of our thought. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I guess the only person that I guess right now is apart from all the other running backs is Christian McCaffrey. As far as being that cowbell where he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna get paid like running fast, but yeah, I think part of it also is them moving more towards passing league, so they become more interchangeable. They like to carry 2 3 running backs to get that third down back that can catch out of the. So unless you're like a Christian McCaffrey that can stay in for all 3 downs, not allowing somebody else to come in and spell you, is I think I could see where Eric Dickerson is coming from on that,
Yep.
from that standpoint.
It was just a different take that I hadn't thought about. And when I heard that, like, I mean, Derrick Henry's a good running back, but like you said, he's not the cowbell like Christian McCaffrey is. But also, I
Right.
think that the it doesn't matter in their success a lot. Like Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler, I need more money. Bitch, y'all have been to the playoffs one time. You haven't ran for 1,000 yards. But when
I
Derrick
think
Henry
they just look at the market and they know they don't have that many years in the league, so they want to get that bag while they can.
but that's kind of what I
Shooting
think is, and
themselves in
then
the foot,
yeah,
and at that point,
exactly. And then because they don't have that many years in the league, they want to extend themselves by having other players come in. And then
yeah.
other than that, we just did. Were there any teams that you wanted to switch from on the week 18?
No, I'll just keep it as is.
Okay, that was the other thing we went through was just the teams. We talked mostly about the Eric Dickerson thing.
Got it. No, I think it should be good. I think unless some fucking fortuitous turn takes, I think we should be good to
It
be
should be.
up there.
So we'll find out. Let's see. Good luck, everybody. Hey, good luck on your game. Hopefully, you guys win it. So you can get that second seed. That would be lovely. And fuck Eagles fans.
Oh,
Oh,
right,
we all
exactly.
yeah. Oh, the last thing we did, we also got into a huge thing about quarterback pressure rankings. Who do you think in the playoffs has the most pressure? Who are your top three quarterbacks that have the most pressure on them right
Probably Dak's probably gonna be up there for sure.
now? Mhm.
Um, who else
I,
do we have?
I
I
had
think
I had
Jalen Hurts, I would
I had so
say, probably
I had
pretty high.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Dak Prescott. Um,
Yeah, and
Sam
Lamar
had
too, because they
Sam
haven't
had
really
Dak,
seen him do it in the playoffs.
Lamar. He had Dak, Jalen, and Lamar or
I'll say
Josh.
Tua too.
My thing was I do not think Jalen Hurts should be up there. I understand that he went to the Super Bowl last year. I understand that he got paid. But he is doing there's only 3 quarterbacks in the top 8 of being paid, 2 quarterbacks that are outperforming him. Or no,
I
there's
think it's
one
more
quarterback.
of a securing the ball. I think he just had more turnovers this year than in years past, and it's probably due to their protection not being as good. But
Well,
I
yeah.
think he'll just have to, kind of carry the
Also,
boats for
I
them.
think they were carry the boats. I think they were 6 in defense last year, and they're 28. They're like 50,
Oh, their
20th.
defense is
Yeah.
fucking
So
terrible this year.
that's what I was saying. It's not that, and their offense is actually playing just as good as they were last year, if
Yeah,
not better.
yeah.
I think it's
I
the
think
biggest
it's
difference
just
is
more will be expected of him.
yeah, okay. But does that mean but what so that's why I left him out of my top 3 because yeah, he has pressure on him, but Lamar has not been to the playoffs, has not been to the AFC Championship, and he's about to win another MVP.
So
And
do
then
you
Dak.
think more? You're thinking of it more like they have more to prove because they haven't proven something.
Yeah, I think in this scenario, I think with Jalen Hurts, he's only been starting for 3 years. This is his
So
third year.
you're looking at it more of like who's overdue to do some shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how does he have pressure on him where he made the playoffs his first year, his second year he went to the Super Bowl, and his third year he's 11-5, and he's only been blown out by 2 teams.
Yeah, see, I was thinking more of it because he's done so well. There's those expectations.
Yeah, I
So
get
I
that.
think I was kind of
But if
more
he, but like
thinking of it from that
if they
standpoint.
get out, if in my opinion, if he goes to the second round and loses, people aren't going to jump up and down like if like
No, they're not gonna have his head.
that's
Yeah, I
more or
guess
less what I'm
you're
thinking. Yeah,
you're talking about who would have more consequences if they
exactly,
don't perform.
exactly. Like who needs the long playoff run the most? Like all
Yeah,
three
in
I
that
named
case, I would
need
say
a long
Josh
playoff
Allen
run.
for
Yeah,
sure, Lamar and Dak for
yeah.
sure would be the
That
three
would
because Buffalo, I think, has been close and shit wheels been falling apart in the
exactly.
playoffs. Lamar's never really proven it either. So with the
Now, of
way the
course,
team's
Hurts would
rolling
be
right
in there.
now,
Yeah, but he would just be a
yeah,
little lower down just because of the fact
yeah,
he's accomplished. If something happens this year, it's not the end of the world. Like if Josh Allen loses in the first round and Jalen Hurts loses in the first round, it's two totally different
yeah.
things.
Joe Flacco playing with house money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
Matthew
Baker's playing with
Stafford.
house
Yeah.
money.
Matthew Stafford. He's already won his ring, and he's basically paying for it house money because nobody thought at the beginning of the season they would be in the playoffs.
What about Purdy? I guess to stay healthy.
Well, yeah, I think Purdy actually has a lot of but this is the problem. I think they do, but I also think that they're going to manage it. I think the Niners are going to manage it. Like the
Yeah, I mean
Niners
they're
will
not gonna
be
ask him
in
to
the
do
AFC
too much. As
Championship.
long as
Yeah.
his weapons are there, then he should be good.
And honestly, I think Purdy has pressure, but I don't put Purdy in the same category as everybody else. Like I'm not saying
Yeah,
Purdy is not playing well, but we know that when as long as he has his
it's
weapons,
more of
he's
a
good.
team
Yeah, it's a
effort.
team.
He's not
Exactly.
looked at to be the one. He ain't carrying the boats.
Exactly. And yeah, exactly. And Jared Goff, yeah, the boat. And Jared Goff, they're just happy the Lions are in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Like realistically, there maybe next year he has more pressure. And
right.
then if we get with the Colts with Gardner Minshew, Trevor Lawrence is going to be injured, so we don't even know if he's going to be playing. Baker
Yeah, that's more of a
Mayfield,
wild card
yeah,
in those two.
that's what I'm saying. The
CJ
Packers, yeah,
Stroud, exactly, wouldn't have that much pressure. I think they're
uh,
happy with where they're at.
yeah. So of course Jalen will be in the top 5 because of the fact that he's in there. But I just judging by it, if he loses anytime, any way or shape or form, they're not gonna cut his head off. And if he makes it back to the Super Bowl, it's a surprise to me. And I think Patrick Mahomes has the least pressure because everybody's blaming our receivers out of all of the
I guess it'd be
and
interesting to see
yeah,
how that shakes out, or if the way I guess the games play out, if
yeah,
that changes.
yeah. That's gonna be made interesting. But the way we've played this season, everybody thinks that we're not gonna. So it's more or less like they expect us
Also,
not
too,
to
I
make
think
it.
I think the play calling is getting taking more of a hit than Mahomes is. The play calling than the receivers.
Listen, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong. I know exactly what's wrong. But last week they shortened the playbook. The problem is they got used to running. I think the playbook is a lot of the problem. They got used to running Eric Bieniemy's. They all got used to Eric Bieniemy's, the way his style of play and how he held them accountable. Matt Nagy is not a good offensive coordinator, and the receivers are young. So I think in the beginning they were just asking them to do way too fucking much,
Yeah,
and they suck. So yeah. All
I
right.
agree.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this thing so I can go smoke. I did not expect us to be on here for 2 hours, but I had a blast.
Well,
Everybody have a fabulous last week of Sunday, last Sunday football week. Please be safe. And do you work tomorrow, Mo?
I work 4 to 12 the next couple weeks.
Okay. I didn't know if your schedule had changed after your new job or anything like that.
I think I'm on swing for the foreseeable future.
Got you. All right. So
Yeah.
with everybody, have a wonderful day, and we will see you later. Peace.